All right. Thank you, everybody. This is my first time using my StreamYard, so hopefully it goes very well. Hopefully somebody shows up. Um, and yeah, the outcast. We are a work in progress. So hopefully this will show on my YouTube as well. Broadcast info. Remove view on YouTube. I don't know if I want to do that. All right. Um, hopefully this doesn't affect anything. I'm just gonna try to continue with the conversation I had. It's funny, brother Bakari's still going live with all his cohorts, and they won't come. Okay, I got one already. Got one already. Can you help me share this? Because I don't know what I'm doing. So whoever just showed up, thank you for coming. Um, oh, they dropped off. But anyway, let me see if I can do a YouTube or look at YouTube or something. Okay, cool. It's popped up. Share. Yes. Yeah. All right. My crusty ass lips. And I'm going to send this to my boy. Page. All right, we got one looking. All right, thank you, Ioba. If you could please share this with as many Pan African folks or even FBAs and WAC ADOS people, please share this with as many people as you can. Hopefully people come from Forecast or not Forecast, but Brother Bakari's channel because they're still over there. There's like 15, 20 people. And I kind of wanted people to come and engage, but of course, sometimes we don't like to engage in the battle of ideas, and we wonder why we're back. We're at the last. We're the lowest race on the planet because of stuff like that. You know, we won't even hash out ideas before wanting to kill each other. And anybody who saw, dang, I should have linked that dang. Well, let's go on live anyway, so I'll be able to put it in the description. Look, the fact remains: we do not have adequate standards for our youth, let alone our adults. Okay. And that's pretty much the root of a lot of our antisocial behavioral problems or a pathology is that there's no standards, that we don't hold people to account. We like to operate in places where folks don't have to do what's necessary. You know, throw trash and chicken. Like, it's so funny that in Atlanta, somebody put out, I have to research it too, but there was a article that says, why are there so many chicken bones and chicken wings all over the ground in Atlanta? And it's just like, Negroes love chicken and we don't like throwing stuff in a trash can. If you had people like Don Lemonhead telling you to pull up your pants and throw trash in the trash can, that should tell you. But obviously he can't. He said that like 15 years ago. He can't say that today because he'd be anti-black, racist, whatever. You know, let alone a white person. You can't have a white person tell black people to throw trash away. Woo! You know, that's the whole systematic race as a white supremacy. You know, all that stuff. So it's just real funny. It's sad. It's real sad. So, oh, everybody dropped off. But anyway, so I'm gonna talk a while, and then solutions, and if anybody feels the need to come up, they'll come up. So I was hoping somebody would pull up so we could have a good conversation, but it's Saturday, people are doing their thing, so this is like probably the worst time to live stream. Um, and that's the biggest thing is like we would not focus on what we can control in our neighborhoods. When you talk to a lot of black folks, they'll do the whataboutism with like white folks and what they do, and it's just like, look, let's stop worrying about what other races of people are doing or gonna do. What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do collectively here? And that's the thing about it is like you can't just go and just say, hey, we're gonna do clean up the hood event on 1 week in a month or whatever. You have to foster a community that feels that's a responsibility. And that's the thing about it. We don't have a community here. We have a community where nobody's accountable. And if somebody actually does try to step up, that's not a woman, because most of the time women can operate in these neighborhoods more or less with impunity and not get challenged. But you have a black man come with the cleanup brigade, he's probably going to get fired on by the product of a single mother, low IQ, and it is what it is. So there's a reason why there's a reluctance. Hey, what's up, forecast? I came through. There's a reason why there's a reluctance for black men to show up in their neighborhoods and be the cleanup men. There's a reason why people like Obsidian Mumia Ali, and other manosphere types popped up out of the ground, and they're giving black men an avenue to do something else. Okay, I still kind of subscribe to that, where I'm not going to be the hood's cleanup man, because what do you know what your reward's going to be. You know what your reward's going to be. You're either going to have people actively undermine you because they're going to call you a coon for cleaning up your neighborhood, or you're just going to get taken out by a product of a single mother with no standards, low IQ. That's what happens. It happens every day, and I'm kind of frazzled a little bit today because I saw this really disturbing video out of, I think, Gulf Shores, Alabama, where we have that boy couldn't have been any older than 15, 14. He looked literally like a child. Had his dreadlocks, his shirt off, hopping around, of course, he had his pants sagging, of course, and he just guns down another young black youth like it was not like he drank, like he just literally like how he pointed that gun and like literally that's how easy it was. That's how easy it was. He pulled up his pants and then he went and he escaped and evaded. That's what happened. He pulled up his pants just a little bit so he could run away, and that was it. And we got another black youth dead. And then we're just like, oh man, we need to do better. We need to do better, man. Them youths, man. We need to do better, man. And it's just like, dude, when are we gonna get sick of this, man? Like, I ain't going to Gulf Shores, Alabama. What the hell are you going there for? People want, what, you going to Thailand and Africa? Yeah, because I'm not gonna get gunned down in the streets by somebody that look like me. Or white supremacists, probably. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the problem. Like we literally have hardened our hearts and just don't care anymore. And I understand the psychology. Like, we see it all the time. It's disturbing, but it's just like what happened. And I guarantee you, it came from having no standards for our youth. We literally let our youth take over the malls, all these places, because we don't have standards. And then when there's consequences for actions, then you have the bitter B brigade jump on and say systematic racism, or if a cop arrests one of these hooligans and one of these freaking terrorists that happen to be under the age of 18, the police are being racist. Like this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't listen to black folks half the time when it comes to this, because these people are terrorizing us. Like, we literally get mad at the white man for literally taking out a terrorist from our neighborhood that detracts and kills our people. You know what I'm saying? So we can't even start this conversation from truth. We can't. And that's the problem. We've seen enough police misconduct against black people in this country. We know what it looks like. We know what it is. We see it. And yes, call it out. And there's ways to handle that. But unfortunately, and then mostly it's black men, and they try to intertwine that in the fabric of this victimhood, pro-black, anti-white tapestry they try to make all the time, instead of saying, no, that's a freaking criminal and he needs to go. We don't have that. And we know why, because we want to continue for our neighborhoods to be matriarchies, obviously. And there's certain black people, whether it be political, social, like our women have matriarchal society, they're not giving up that power. They ain't giving up that power. It's going to have to be forced from them. And it took me so long to realize this. Like our women, our black American, our beautiful black queens, they're not going to relinquish power peacefully. They're never going to give it up. We will march on a slow trot to our deaths, like black. And I'm talking about black Americans. I'm not talking about any other black people in the diaspora. I'm talking about black Americans. We will march off the cliff with female leadership. We will do it. And it is what it is. And that's not me being bitter or trying to call out our women. That's just what it is. They run the hood. They run academia. There are intellectual class. There are political class. And it is what it is. And this is the results we have. So when we have this problem, when you have people like me that are just like, I'm not cleaning up the neighborhood, I'm moving out and I'm trying to build, and maybe I can go to Africa, or there's places in the diaspora with other black people I can build with where there's standards, or at least if you're productive, you're not going to be shunned or called a coon or a lame or whatever. And that's where we're at. We're literally pushing our people away, productive people away. So, yeah, nobody's really saying anything. A forecast. What do you say to anything I said? Any comment, or did he leave already? He probably left already, because he probably thought what I was saying was boring or anti-black or whatever. But who is Don? I don't know who Don is. Don? I don't know. Where'd you get Don? So I got 3 people watching. Can everybody hear me? Put a 1 in the chat. Something. Let's engage a little bit. What place in the world does black people come together? Well, I mean, there's places where black people come together. We just don't elevate those. You said yes. The Thip, thank you for joining me. I don't think I've seen you before, unless you have a different Abby from something else. It was anti-black, but I'm still here. No, it's not anti-black forecast. Here's why. Because I advocate for people who are assets that are black to build with each other. That's not anti-black. What I'm saying is there are cohorts of our people, I can't quantify the number, and I'm not going to, that will actively either undermine or they will outright destroy it. And that it is what it is. That's what it is. So to where I'm Lorenz Bumac. I salute to you. Oh yeah, Don Lemon. Yeah, Don Lemon. Yeah, I was saying for people who just came in about standards for our youth and standards for our people, Don Lemonhead, him, the man of anti-accountability for anything black or LGBTQ, literally, and this was 15 years ago, there's a recording of him on CNN saying, pull up your pants, you look ridiculous, black people, clean up your neighborhood, stop trashing the place, and have pride in where you live. And that fell on deaf ears then, of course. And then now it's resurfaced because white conservatives put that in it. Like, he's like, Don Lemonhead, remember you said this? Remember Don Lemonhead, he told black people to pick up after themselves and have pride in where they and pick up their pants? You know, white conservatives did that, you know, and it's fitting too, because, you know, he wants to forget that he did that. And that's it. So, so at the end of the day, he can't say that today because he'd get fired. We can't have that. So, that's the same thing Cosby said until he got locked up, even though his pants was up. Well, see, Bill Cosby legally exposed himself in a few ways. He opened himself up to legal liability in some of his actions, and that's all I'm going to really say. I don't really want to rehash the Cosby situation, because say if the man was the biggest rapist in the world, he raped like 50,000 white women and all this other stuff. Him telling black people to have standards and do the right thing should not fall on deaf ears. Okay, a broken clock is right twice a day, whatever. So I can be like Cosby is a quote unquote graping buffoon. Sorry for using the R word, the graping buffoon. Okay, that's cool. But when he said black people have pride in where you live, take care of yourselves, try to be an academic, standards, good things to do to have good outcomes, you listen. And that's it. And the rest of the stuff you do, you can ignore it. So yeah, that's why it's like, yeah. So that's kind of a bad example forecast, but that's cool. And we're gonna I'm gonna invite a few people on if they want to come in a little bit so we can hash some of this out. He says, you live in Oregon, correct? Isn't there a sizable black community in Oregon? Y'all make up only like 3% of the population. I think it's less because we keep killing each other. Let's just keep it 100. Like 4 days ago, we had 2 young black men. I think they were still at like 17 and 19 or 17 and 18, deleted in a car, driving, deleted. Three, it was 3 people in the car that were deleted. I wonder what race of people deleted them. I highly doubt it was the Ku Klux Klan. I'm just saying. I highly doubt it was the Ku Klux Klan. I'm gonna just say that. Even because people like pulling out the white supremacists in Oregon. It's like real white supremacists don't live around people in Portland. I'm just gonna keep it 100. So if you don't know Oregon, I know Oregon really well. And another thing about the black community, it's run by LGBTQ, college educated black women. So it's a non-starter. I've already tried to go into that community and say, hey, I'm a strong black man ready to help our community. And they were just like, Trump, you can, and so that was the end of that. Not I was bringing something to the table. I was trying to do something right. They didn't want to hear none of that. They was like, you're tainted. You're a black, white, supremacy, all that foolishness to separate our people. Because, we use white politics to separate ourselves. That's a funny thing. So we'll get on that Greater Idaho situation. We'll definitely, hopefully you can come on a panel and talk about that. Oh, people are dropping off. See, Negroes, man. You know what? I'm gonna just open it up right now. How do I put it in the chat? Post comment. Okay. There we go. See, we learning here. We learning. All right. So, so we got forecast, Lorenz. So if I'm saying BS, like I'm just curious on why we okay. Back to Atlanta, and we can talk about more about the Waterboy situation, but back to Atlanta. This is my first live, not my first live, but this is my first StreamYard. This is my first StreamYard live where I've had like guests and all that. So I'm trying to bring it up to another level. So thank you for being my first forecast if you're coming. I don't have a headset, so I can't comment. Really? Oh, you must be on a computer. Okay, that's all good. It's a shame, but you need to be prepared so we can exchange some ideas with each other. This is how black people get better. And so, like in Atlanta, again, we have no standards for the black community at large, but I'm going to talk about just that area where somebody had the audacity to put out and I'll try to link to it too later, where there's like, why are there so many chicken wings discarded chicken wings all over the city on the ground? And like, what is this? Is a beautiful city. Oh, this isn't right. All this other stuff. And it's just like, everybody make sure you're sharing this to your favorite friends and family. And so it's just like, come on, like, why the city is trashed, because we don't hold ourselves accountable. And the people in the position, like, that's a black run city. Shout out to who said this? I don't know if it was like Pan African Strikes Back or some other brother. He said Atlanta is white owned, black managed. And I'm like, that sounds about right. That sounds about right. Even though more and more black folks are taking that place over, but in all intents and purposes, I can't say that's BS. And it is what it is, you know. And so these people in power, they don't empower our people to do the right thing. Literally, okay, King Randall, okay, or King Randall X, okay, the X school or getting boys off the X or whatever, like what he's doing in Georgia, he's doing it in the same state as Atlanta. People support him, but why don't they have a government run by black people take what he's doing and replicate it? This man is literally, I think he just turned 22. Like, ridiculous. This man is like way younger than me. This is something I should have been doing, you know, like, but seriously, he's doing something that's having tangible outcomes for our young black boys, our boys. And we have people that have money, political power, clout, skills. They won't replicate it. They won't. They won't. This man, white Tucker, people like Tucker Carlson promote King Randall X. Tucker Carlson and Fox News platform this young black man. But y'all ain't got no smoke for that. Fox News platforms King Randall X for all the white supremacy. Fox News, which they do say bullshit. I don't take their word for it. You know, I'm a conservative. I make no bones about it, but they on some bullshit too over there. But you got to be discerning. But we don't see all these quote unquote liberal spaces promote that. And we know why, because they don't like strong men. They want effeminate black men to get on their knees to our black academic class, which is run by women. That's the thing about it, is like, if like we have Hassan Johnson, T. Johnson, who and I probably have to put a whole bunch of links. Black professor, and I think it was in California, well over 20, 30 years of teaching. He's an academic, but he's a straight black male academic that wants to actually oh, you're backstage, okay, who actually wants to have better outcomes. We don't talk about it. I think within the last 6 months or a bit more, I've known about him. I wasn't supporting this black man. All right. Thank you for joining us, Forecast.
What's going on?
All right. Good. Welcome, being my first actual guest on the show. I really appreciate you coming and supporting and wanting to engage in the battle of ideas. You know, I think this is the forge and the proving ground to where we can bring our people forward, obviously within reason. So
yeah, I broke the cherry.
Yes, you did. You did.
All right, that's what's up. Yo, you were saying King Randall? I've never heard of him. What he doing now?
What he does is he takes disadvantaged black boys and youth, you know, single mothers or their parents are deceased or whatever, you know, it doesn't matter the reason. He takes them in, he gives them classes, all types of classes, like how to fix a car, etiquette, just life skills. It's just life skills that these young black boys need at these critical ages. Like, some of those black boys are already kind of behind on some of the skills they should have at the age that they're at, but he remedies that. So he's if you look up King Randall X, he's conservative. So you might not like that. Other people don't like his conservatism. But my biggest, I don't care if he was a flaming Democrat. Well, I probably wouldn't like if he was Alphabet, but say he's just straight up like, well, think about it, he probably wouldn't be it would be contradictory for him to be like pro Joe Biden and do what he's doing. But say if he's like a liberal or something, I'd still support him. I'd still give him money. I'd still lend whatever I could, you know, because he's having good outcomes. So he's not platformed by certain cohorts of people. Like I said, white conservatives platform him, not because he's conservative, it's because they say what he's doing is like if you look at what happened in Gulf Shores, Alabama, where that youth deleting his other youth, like drinking water. Look it up. Gulf Shores shooting, or that, it's all over the internet. Multiple shots, deleted them, pulled up his pants a little bit, and took off like it was nothing. That's they want, like, white people see that. They're like King Randall X. They will get on their knees because they see he's making better outcomes for our people. So it's a shame that the white racist conservatives are platforming young black men doing this tangible things, but we can't get Joy Reid, that race baiter, Jason Black, that race baiter, and all these other people to platform this man every single day. Every single day.
Well, what I would say is, I've never heard of him, but based off what you say, I definitely support what he's doing. Now, I don't know his politics. That's what I'm saying. I don't know who he is. I would definitely.
Oh, he's conservative. He's conservative.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I would disagree if he's like most black people is conservative by definition when it comes to the gut. No, by definition, you may vote Democrat, but by definition, you know what I'm saying, most black people want the government out of their business, you know what I'm saying, even though they may vote Democrat. So I'm not sure about his politics per se, you know what I'm saying, and especially since certain conservatives, Republicans put him on a thing. I don't know what his mission is, but if he is doing something for like specifically black youth and stuff like that, I definitely would have to support it. I will show that, so I'm gonna look him up just so I can play it if he's actually doing something for the black youth. So I definitely shouts out to you for putting me on to him.
Shout out to brother Bakari. Thank you for coming on the stream. Okay, we got 5 people. Everybody who's on, who's watching me, if you can put some in the comments, or hi, or I'm here, or whatever. Just I want to shout y'all out for coming back to my second live stream. So so what I was saying about okay, before I move on, I do want to talk about their conservative. Black people are naturally conservative, whatever. That's kind of like maybe 10 years ago I would have agreed with that, but it's just like, we vote for the government to be in our lives. Like, by nature of voting Democrat, you're literally voting for bigger and Republicans are guilty of voting for bigger government too, so let's not get bogged down on that. But overall, most black people support Democrats that want to expand the government for every little thing in our lives. So that's why it's kind of weird that, like, just because a certain amount of our people are anti-alphabet or anti-abortion, those numbers are dwindling. Like, white conservatives are being outnumbered, you know what I'm saying? So we damn sure know black conservatives, we're like unicorns over it. Actually, that's a lie. Our numbers are kind of ticking up because of the political atmosphere, but not to the numbers where we're going to be super significant. Hell, the black vote is already like being diluted. So
right,
and I'm gonna read the hip. Hold on, I'll read the hips. There are different types of conservative: fiscal conservative, socially conservative. Most blacks are fiscally conservative, not socially conservative. Most blacks support abortion and LGBTQ, which is sad. Yeah, that's true. That's actually probably a better way to say that.
No, I doubt that, because I think most black people, because I'm like, yo, I'm with black people. I don't care if they like gay or whatever they is. I'm not like, what I'm saying, whatever. But black people give me pushback if I'm like, yo, I'm black first. I don't care. Like, I'm not for a gay white person. I'm for black people, whether they're gay, Republican, Democrat, or none of that. And I've heard most black people be like, are against like LGBTQ kind of politics, and the Democrats is losing a lot of elections because the black people is not supporting. They did with Obama because they were like, oh well, he's black, you know what I'm saying? But I don't think that most black people is supporting. That's why you see an uptick in black Republicans. Now, I'm not gonna act like black Republicans is not the same. Like the other side of the coin is two sides of the same coin, but I'm not gonna act like they're not the same side. It's no different than black Democrats. They're the same thing. But all right, go ahead.
I would say, like you're a little right, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously you have to like neoliberalism and just the kind of the people are starting to use the word uniparty. Like there's definitely truth to what you're saying, but the reason why I want to push back, there's certain, and I'm more of a policy person, more than I am like if there's a conservative that came and offered certain things to me, or excuse me, a Democrat that offered certain things, I'll vote Democrat. I am not I'm beholden by policy. And unfortunately, and the reason why I'm kind of like iffy on when you say like I'm pro black first and I don't care if you're gay, it's just like, well, some of these ideas are more subversive than others. Like I get wanting to scrutinize conservatives for their certain ideas that may not be most beneficial to black people. I get that, but there's certain stuff like black LGBTQ or alphabet is like literally anti-black family. Like they literally want to stop black families from forming. like even if they don't say that, that's what it is. You can't have a family with two moms and two dads. I'm sorry, that's not a family. That's a clan or something. I don't know what that is, but that's not a family.
Yeah, can I say this because I agree with what you're saying, but like yo, somebody like say Sha'Carri Richardson, they be like she's gay, but I got her back because she be like she talks about black issues and you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I'll be like, yo, it don't matter if she's gay or whatever, because she understands that she's black. So I would support her. You know, that's all I mean by that.
Okay, I get you, even though she does some buffoon stuff I can't get with, like ruining your career over smoking a little weed. Like, come on. But anyway, not trying to get bogged down on that sister. You know, hopefully I wish that sister success. Just, you know, I wish she would wear her natural hair. So I couldn't help myself forecast. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Lord have mercy.
But seriously, that's why I'm like more reluctant to like rock with certain people like that. Like I said, I don't care if you're a Democrat and you're socially liberal, but you're fiscally conservative, I can still rock with you. And we can build on the premise of fiscal conservatism. So I'm like all for that, and we can kind of forego the societal stuff for the sake of that. So I'm all for that. But when people put that on their, like that's the first thing, like black girl magic and trans black lives matter, like no, man, like I can't, man. It's like group economics and stuff like that makes more sense than some of the societal stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's why I would maybe, in your words, like shun or get people out of my circle, but it's just like there's certain things that would destroy or undermine what we're trying to do. Not me just trying to like cut off black people, if that makes any sense.
Yo, it does, but that's what I'm saying, because a lot of people give you slack because they say the stuff that you say and do would undermine black people. That's why a lot of black people give you slack. You know what I'm saying?
But they're never really able to prove that though. It's mostly rhetoric and just saying I'm pro-white, but they never just like, okay. And I'll use an example, and I'll let you cook forecast. Sankara, and hopefully you go back and watch Brother Bakari's stream from the beginning, because I don't know when you came in or if you were there the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't see the whole thing.
Okay, pretty much what happened was we were on the panel, and Sankara was like, Rifleman, you're like anti-black, you say all this anti-black stuff, you do this anti-black stuff, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Can you tell me specifically like what I said and what I did that was anti-black, so you can help me understand and all that? And he's like, oh nah, you just a coon, blah, blah, blah. Well, he was calling me a coon in the comments, but he was like, no, I don't have to do this, or we're at a time where we don't have time to try to convince people and all this other blah 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 blah. And he just jumps off the stream. And then I finish up what I was doing, and I jump off the stream because I had to take care of something. And then magically he appears back on the stream, and he's like talking, he's able to engage. And so I got back on the stream, and I'm like, okay, brother, I'm gonna go live, because Brother Uhura said he had to leave and all that. So I'm like, look, cool, we don't agree. Come on my stream, give me your olive branch. Please help me understand. Like I said, and I use you, Brother Bakari, as an example where we've disagreed. We still disagree. But guess what? You at least hear me out. I'll hear you out. And it is what it, and we move on to the next thing. And it's no big deal because we know we black men and we trying to make something better than what we have, and that's what I'm for. But then he's just like, no, I'm not doing it and all that. And so I just was like, you know what? And I just started the disrespect. Maybe I shouldn't have, but I don't feel bad. I'm just being honest. I don't feel bad about it. I don't think I'll ever, I'll apologize to Brother Bakari and other people on the stream, but him in particular, like Sankara, I'll never apologize. But I'll much rather apologize to other Black people that had to hear that and endure that. So so that's why I was just like, you know what, this is the problem. Like literally, and I said in the stream, Black folks are good with drive-bys. We go drive-by like, oh, you stupid, blah, 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 you know, talk all that crap. But when it's time to put brass tacks and put line by line what you said by line item and examine it, you know, it's just like the equivalent of a knife fight. Like we down to run up on somebody on their steps and shoot at them, but if it's up close and personal, oh no, that'll get messy, or I might lose, you know, and I'm not afraid to lose. Like that's like I've been humbled on these panels. I don't have Black folks say, hey, that's anti-Black as hell, and here's why. And I had to be able to listen and get through my bullshit to actually internalize what they were trying to say. And it's happened plenty of times. Yeah. So even like I said, not Measy. I said in my last stream, not Measy. Like we have kind of an adversary. Like at the end of the day, I'll help that brother. I'll do whatever, even though we might talk or whatever. But even he's helped me glean pro-Black information that's tangible and good. So if me, you, not Measy and all that, we can do that. How come he can't do it? This is what I'm saying. Even though it's his right to decline and not want to engage, but you can't be running up saying, oh, see, he's the problem, blah, blah, blah. You won't even explain why. You won't even help me. Like he could literally tell me something that can make me even more pro-Black than I already am. So that's why I have no tolerance for people like this who won't even try to consider anything different. And these are the people on the panels that actually detract, that are the problem.
Yeah, but first, can I say this first, Rifleman? And I know, like, and the only reason why I had started calling you, like, say, oh, you're trolling, is because before you used to never cut anybody off. You waited and then you went in. But like when somebody says something, then automatically you cut them off and say X, Y, and Z. Now I understand what you're saying right now, you know, and a lot of people give me a lot of slack because and you heard me even defend like, yo, we don't want this to be an echo chamber. You know what I'm saying? I want First Rifleman to come on here because we need to see like what people is thinking. Now, even with some of the talking points though, First Rifleman, like you got to understand, like when you call me racist for saying something, but then like that white dude that made Dilbert say the same thing, and you be like, oh, he's just reacting, like, but I'm racist if I say that. Or what's another example I was just thinking about? I forgot. Just like, yo, if like when is a Black person doing it, all of a sudden with you it becomes a problem. But if somebody else do it, then whoa, I understand. And that's why a lot of people be like, well, you know, I'm not sure who you're down with, and like, you know, because you. So that's why sometimes I'll be like, I know you just be trying to make people mad and turn up and stuff, which I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't, you know, I do the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But I be trying to do it a different way, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like some of this stuff is not accurate. Like when you say that, well, I don't do such and such, right? But when we was talking about critical race theory, that's why I asked you about certain issues with critical race theory, because I don't think that you understand what the Republicans is talking about. I don't think that you're really against like somebody like Ruby Bridges' book saying Ruby Bridges goes to school, but the Republicans who you are taking up for, that's who they are saying they're going against. I don't think that you realize that. And that's what I'm saying. When you be talking, using their talking points, I don't think that you realize like the extent of their talking points, where it comes from, the reasons why they're saying it. I think that you just take it and just run with it. And then I get that. I get some of your points, you know what I'm saying? But I think you conflate it with some of this other stuff too. So, you know, that's all, you know.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I can definitely tell you that I used to have the Conservative Inc., Daily Wire, or Ben Shapiro, before Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro and all that stuff. So yeah, libertarians. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Like I've been blinded by certain tenets of conservatism or libertarianism. I will admit that. I will. To what you said about like calling like you racist and like giving passes to like white people for their supposed racism. I want to apologize and maybe walk back because I want to reset that, I guess, issue.
Hey, by the
I
way,
may have.
I'm not offended. By the way,
Oh no, no, I know. I'm not worried about you being offended, but it's just I want to just do what I think is the right thing to do. Is no, maybe you're not racist at all, or at the time I used racism for a euphemism when I really meant you just have a certain racial animus or resentment, and that's not the same thing as full blown racist or hate. So I want to just put that out there for everybody to, excuse me, to see or to hear is that no, you're not racist, okay? But I believe you have a certain animus or racial resentment towards white people. That's what I continue to believe. And that's it. You know, we can disagree on that point, but
First Rifleman, I'm that's fair enough. Because even if you call me racist, that's cool. Because I'll be like, fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't think racism is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But if you was to say, okay, well, you're racist, you're this, you're that. But then when the other dude, the white dude, be like, yo, all black people, there's a hate group and stuff. And you be like, well, I understand because they're reacting to something. But when black people do something and they're reacting to something you don't understand, that's why I asked that question. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Well, we can be, well, that's why it has to be a case by case basis. Like, and like I said, I can be wrong and I've been wrong before. And to rehash the Scott Adams thing, I think he may have ran with a certain data point that he shouldn't have ran with, but what he said struck a nerve with a lot, even black folks. He's like black folks that agreed with him, like me, because we've seen enough of this rhetoric in our everyday, either in our everyday lives or growing up, or where we see, like, whether it be on social media or other places where black folks can't wait all day to hate on other races of people, or particularly white people, with impunity. Just say whatever they want. It doesn't have to be accurate. You just say the diarrhea of the mouth, you know, white people this or whatever. And other people see that. You know, it's just like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, when black folks put all this negative racial stuff out there, other people see it and feel it. Just like white ladies, white folks aren't doing as much as they used to, but even like when they do it, you know, there's a whole, oh my God, like white people be losing their jobs, people be going in the streets, like, oh my God, you know, this crying stuff, and people, you know, this taken up for us because some white man said something that we didn't like and all that. Like on just what happened recently, that white lady that said faux shizzle on the news, and they fired her old white ass. And it's just like white people, like, that might not mean anything to you or other people, but that's like like some people feel an accumulative effect. Like, I've been fired from 4 jobs over here over politics from where the area that I live in the country, and I'm a black man, and white people didn't fire me from my job because of my beliefs. So I can damn sure understand a white person when they get pissed off, when they're like, oh, there they are again, getting oversensitive over something that's probably blah, 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 and this guy lost his job. And so some people, unfortunately, have a feedback loop, and it comes to this racial resentment stuff and all, and it happens on both sides. So that's why, no, like, yes, white people, whatever, but black folks do the same exact stuff, and we're not supposed to either call it out or acknowledge it or anything. I see another guest popping up. That's Brother Bakari. All right, I'll add him to the stream. And so what I'm saying is, they people see this stuff, and I'm talking about, like, let's get off of white people for a second. I'm talking about just Asians. Okay, let's talk about Asians. Asians ain't going around messing with black people like that as a whole. Maybe in certain locales like Cali, and, you know, where there's like an adversarial black versus Asian relationship. When something happens, like, example, I saw on social media, like, and this is gone countrywide, like white conservatives have picked this up, where there is a Vietnamese lady, I think she's an American citizen, but she's of Vietnamese origin, hardworking person, pays her taxes, don't mess with nobody. She's a mother, you know, all the stuff we want Americans of all races to do and achieve. She doing that. She getting ready to go back to her homeland of Vietnam on a vacation before she come back. And there's a black youth that goes over, body slams her, paralyzes her, and black female getaway driver. He gets away, but they arrest him, and they're lowering his bond. They lowered his bond. You got black folks like, oh, it's trauma induced crime, and all this other stuff. And it's like, no, man. Like, and also too, not only did you see the excuse making, I'm talking about just purely on social media. So this is not all of black people, but unfortunately, I've seen this enough to where this has to be a sizable amount of our people doing this. So anyway, so then there's like Facebook places like that where they're actively making fun of Asian people, saying they need to shut up, or what about what Asian people did to us, and all this other, just making excuses. This is the mind state of sickness. People should literally see that video instead of bringing all the racial stuff in it. It's like, that shouldn't have happened. That should not have happened. That child or that youth committed a crime against somebody that shouldn't have happened, and that's it. But people have to make it some societal thing, and of course we have our simp ass judges for criminals lowering his bond, and that's what I'm saying. Like, other races of people see this stuff and internalize it, and guess what? People like me, you, Brother Bakari, some crazy will turn that and use it against us and kill us and shoot us in a supermarket because they see this cumulative stuff coming together. And it's not making excuses like, oh, I understand why white people are doing it. It's just, it's a pattern. And that's all I'm saying.
But first, because I want to let Bakari get in, but that's my point though. Like, yo, because you brought up Asians, and like people don't say I'm racist towards Asians. I say the same thing. I say the Asians towards black people or white people, or whatever. But you know what they do? Like, when you go into their shops, yeah, they have a history of abusing, beating up black women. When you go, hurry up and buy, you know what I'm saying? They got the Stop Asian Hate bill. They're not doing stuff for black people. They are not our friends. And that's my only point. You know what I'm saying? They are not our friends. When I
never said they're our friends. I never even started from that premise.
I know I'm not talking about you in particular, but when I talk about Asians and stuff like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, people would say that, oh, well, you're being racist towards Asians and stuff like this. And I was gonna say something. I'm gonna let Bakari get in, but the dude asked me in the chat, Lorenz, can you elaborate why I don't like black people or white people? And it's not that I like white people or don't. I don't care about them at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about black people and our reactions towards all of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And like, I know you don't mean this, but when people hear you be like, oh, you racist towards white people, that means like, oh, I don't care about no damn white person. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, if Lorenz wanna, you know what I'm saying, make an excuse why he want to mess with white girls and why white people is his friends, you know what I'm saying, like, that's on him. But it don't have nothing to do with why I like them or don't like them. When I talk about the past or the history, that's just what has happened. You won't have no damn friends, and you know that, you know what I'm saying? But I'll let Bakari go in before I'll respond to everything else you said.
What's up, man? What's going on, Rifleman? What's up, Forecast? What's up to the chat?
Salute, Brother Bakari. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you. Y'all being my first guest on the Rifleman Show.
We broke his chair,
so what are your thoughts, brother?
Well, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just coming in. I heard a couple things, and I was reading a couple of the chats when the man asked Forecast to elaborate on why he don't like white people, right? And this is something I said earlier. When people ask me that, I normally answer the question with I love black people. And by me loving black people is make people feel I hate. This is how I answer that. Hate is an emotion just like love, right? So if I hated white people, there would be a reason. But for the most part, I don't focus on any hate in me. I try to focus on the love and respect I have for my people. So hopefully we can figure out a way to get out of this situation. Because if I just focused on hate that I have for other people, we would stay in the same situation and I'll be walking around angry, right? And trust me, I've been down that road. So for me, I love black people and I want to see black people do something. So if that's like when Forecast said, I don't think about them. If we're going to perceive that as hate,
now Lorenz is trying to make excuses for his white girls. That's all.
Oh, Lorenz got a white girl. My bad.
Well, we don't even know. We don't even know. Is Lorenz black? Because I'm not familiar with him.
Good point. Good point. First, right for me.
So, but the thing is, and I heard a couple of more comments, and you was talking about Sankara. Sankara, me and Sankara is
Oh,
cool.
Brother Bakari, before you get into that, well, because I was planning on circling down to that real quick. What you you look like he African. um, for one, was it? Okay, yes, I like your answer was very reasoned. I like your answer. I just want to make sure we're not loving our people to death. And what I mean by that is kind of what I touched on, where that criminal that happened to be a black youth, he gets his bond lower. Or when we have a black man commit a crime, there's either an excuse or we need like 2020. Okay, I use 2020 as an example. That those damn bail funds that they were letting all these people out of jail with these bail funds. Black men went home and killed black. This actually happened in Portland. He killed his black woman. He got out of jail because they were like, oh, systematic racism. And they were like, we need to get this brother out of jail. He went back and killed his black woman. Or they've gone on to commit more crimes. So I think that's an example of thinking, like internalizing the wrongs that have happened to us in the criminal justice system and thinking that letting criminals out of jail is like a loving act when it's not. There's like, I'm all for bail funds for black men that actually are innocent, or not are innocent, but like there has to be a standard. That's what I'm saying. So not to get bogged down on that. And then on the second thing on the Sankara, for one, and for everybody to listen, I want to apologize for my conduct on your panel. I want to apologize to you, Brother Bakari, and I want to apologize to your guests because that's not who I am. I try not to present that side of myself. But I will not apologize to Sankara. I don't feel any need to apologize to that person, and I do not feel bad about saying what I said. But I do feel bad about that display on your platform because it's not fair and it's not right. So I'll just say that.
Okay, appreciate your apology, man. But you're gonna have to come back over there and apologize to my guests, man. They don't hear you. But I'm messing with you though. But anyway, right? But the thing is, like you see, this is one of the things that we talk about, right? When we say you give passes to other people, like you can say all of that about, okay, they let this criminal out and this criminal went back and kills, but they lowered the bond. But if we talk about something that white people did, you are quick to defend and say, well, why is it always about black and white? Why can't it never fails. I understand that you are a student of Thomas Sowell. So I understand where a lot of this come from. I was just telling a good friend, I say most of his talking points don't even come from white people. Not directly, they come indirectly from white people. His talking points
they come from mathematics.
No, it comes from Thomas Sowell. Unless Thomas Sowell is all of a sudden a mathematician, that's who they come.
Thomas Sowell said 2 + 2 is 6.
And that's what it's going to be.
Well, he knows economics really well.
And that is okay that he knows economics really well. But knowing economics really well is one thing. But teaching us how we should bow down to something that don't care about us at all is something that's completely different, right? And that's part of his message, even down to the point when we study our history and our culture. He want to tell us we have no African culture. Everything that we do, the reason we're so messed up is because we copied the poor white people culture. And that's why we and that's why we're dysfunctional now. If I say we didn't mimic anything from white people being in this system all these years, that would be a lie. It's impossible not to. But to say that we don't have none of our original culture, that we don't have known African culture. That's a lie as well. Like when he wrote the book and said Marcus Garvey, the red, black, and green, had nothing to do with black nationalism of creating black nation. It was for the red was for the Indians, the green was for the Irish, and the black was for the black people. That is not true either. That is something he made up. That's why he won't debate anybody. So I understand your mind, because I understand where it come from. But I also know Thomas Sowell teach black people to bow down. He can be great at economics. But I will ask this: what has he ever done for black people? What fight has he ever stood up and fought for black people?
I thank you, Brother Bakari. Okay, I'll say this. Thomas Sowell is not a perfect being. Okay, let's just get that straight. Thomas Sowell can be incorrect about something. It doesn't have to be nefarious. People can literally either get bad information or come to a false conclusion. It doesn't have to be nefarious, or he's trying to like make a narrative for white people. It's just he put his words on there, whatever. The point of us retaining virtually 0% of our culture from Africa, obviously that's not true. Retain some things, very small, very little things, and especially as time is going on, yeah, it's going to be lost. But yeah, we have maybe certain mannerisms. We love okra. We bought over cowrie beads. Certain practices that we secretly had during slavery that were passed on. Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, but that's like very small. It's super small to where it may be almost insignificant. Dare I say that? But it is what it is. And also for Thomas Sowell, what has he done for black people? He tells black people what they don't want to hear. That in and of itself, I think that's an accomplishment. But what has he done for black? Like, you can be pro-black and not have to pick up a black red, black, and green flag and say white people suck and all that, because I'm sorry, and you may not agree or whatever, and I'm not saying this you or Forecast, because you guys are not like this. You guys are actually tangible men that actually take action, so that's why I respect y'all. But a lot of black people are under the impression that being pro-black means we have to be adversarial towards white people. Black people never did any wrong, or systematically everything is against us. It's just like this kind of low-hanging fruit blackism or black worship is a problem. Like I say, and we're going to get to the water boy thing if you guys have any time, because I don't want to live stream too long or whatever and tire people out. But that's I've seen that too much since I was a kid, where we'll say one thing, and like we always say, don't listen to what people say, look at their actions. And their actions never come together to be pro-black. So when people say they're pro-black, I'm like, oh, you're pro-black, huh? And I see their actions, because most of the time, single baby mama, or got single baby mama that's white, they sleep white, or some stuff where you guys that I would be more down with your guys' definition of pro-black than most other black people, because I have a track record with y'all. I know you guys a bit better, but unfortunately, there's a lot of low-hanging fruit and a lot of intellectual backwardism when it comes to being pro-black. So that's kind of my rebuttal to that.
Okay, I got you. In Forecast, I'm gonna say this in the past because I know we want to keep you waiting. But like when we mentioned, and I see the guy put the thing in the chat, say Thomas Sowell give us real logical solutions. Okay,
Lord have mercy.
let's say he give a real logical solution, right? But that's what y'all want to say. I'm not going to argue with you, right? But for me, when I read somebody and I find out that they are a liar, most of his logic is out of the door.
Okay, sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but can you not start at the premise that he's a liar, please? Let's just not do that. Like I said in the beginning, people can be wrong, or they can put stuff down off of bad information that they got. But that's too much.
Bakari,
that's too much.
Okay, well, wait, let me say this. Let me say this, then I'm going to pass it to you. And the reason I said that, I've already gave the one the couple examples about what he said about the little culture that we have and about the red, black, and green flag. So now if I continue on, right, I can also say I can show you books from linguists, right? 4 different linguists. Matter of fact, 3 of the linguists was right. 3 of the linguists were white, wanted to prove the black linguist wrong, who said when they came down south, they found out as they studied the reason we spoke different, the way we say certain things and end certain words is African culture. We still had 100, and I have to get the book, and the book had the words. We had 100 African Bantu words still in our English dialect, because that's what we speak in this country. We still had 100 of those words that we used, especially in the South. Thomas Sowell clearly went and wrote, who's not a linguist at all, went and wrote a book and said, no, those are not African words. They just speak, and I'm saying like they just speak like illiterate, uneducated, poor white people. But we have 4 linguists, 4 different linguists. And I can pull the stuff up if you want to see it the next time you're on my channel, I'll show you. We have 4 different linguists that show that's what it is. But once again, he want to take you away from who you are in telling you you're mimicking poor white people. But if you go mimic the rich white people in this country, you were okay. And I don't want to listen to nobody who tell me in order for me to be okay is for me to be like somebody else, when don't nobody else in this society have to be like other people. They can just be themselves. And when you said about, well, you know, we'll say something about the system is against us, there's systemic racism. Is that not true? Not saying we shouldn't do anything about it. When you say this is what we can do and this is what we should do, and sometimes, I ain't gonna say, not sometimes, a lot of our people do focus on what they're doing to us. So this, I'm telling you where I agree. Focus on what they're doing to us without focusing on a solution to move forward and figuring out a way to stop it from happening. But there's systematic racism, bigotry, whatever you want to call it. Now, on that, I yield the mic.
No, Bakari, because you was being too nice, yo. Like, because the brother in the chat, like, yo, P Funk, come on here, bro. Because
hey, shout out to P Funk 100. I've seen him on other stuff before, so thank you for adding to what I'm saying.
But he's full of it, bro. So I wouldn't even shout him out because he's
well.
Full of
can
it.
Forecast. I'll let you cook real quick. The only thing I'm gonna say to Brother Bakari, and we'll just keep riding or whatever. We'll let this Time of Soul thing until die until next time. Like I said, I'm gonna still stand on like Thomas Sowell is an economics professor, okay, emeritus. He is not a linguist, okay. He's not an anthropologist, but he can apply some of this or study up enough to where he can maybe add clarity or something, or add that into his book. But like I said, I'm willing to concede he's wrong on a couple of points in his book. I'm not saying it's 1,000% accurate everywhere, but his argument is compelling enough to where I haven't seen a competing exactly, P Funk 100. You expect to agree with everything someone says? I don't exactly. I don't either. I never go into something like you. I may have a certain difference to something, but I'm not going to let that blind me, or at least I try not to let that blind me. But anyway, I'm willing to concede he's a couple of points he's wrong with on the book, but I just don't like you coming in saying he's straight up lying. He lying. Like, come on, man.
Let me tell you why I say that, and I don't mean to cut you off.
Hold on, brother.
Let me say this right quick, then I'm gonna be big. I think Thomas Sowell is smart. That's why I call him a liar.
No, stop,
think he know what he's doing.
Stop it. I was like, Bakari, you was being way too nice with this Thomas Sowell dude. First of all, he full of it. Where do you think he got his information from? Milton Friedman, a white dude, right? That's who he's taking his information from. He's not making up none of the stuff that he comes up with. It comes from Milton Friedman, a white dude. There's a reason why he never debated anybody.
So Milton Friedman, I mean, I have my critiques of Milton Friedman, but a lot of what he says is not, you can't discard what the man says.
A lot of it though. You can.
So not all of it. I'm going to say that's why. Like, look, we're not economics professors, so like people in economics that literally get paid and get rich off of that subject are literally debating this today on the internet. So it's just like I'm not going to get bogged down on that, but it's just I think it's harsh that you call him a liar, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and yes, he is very smart, but smart people can be wrong.
Can I tell you
smart
why?
people can be wrong.
Can I tell you why he be full of it and lying? Because Bakari took it back. I'm not taking it back though. I'm gonna tell you why he be lying. Because he's smart enough to know the damn truth. He says half truths. You know what I'm saying? He knows why the black community and the black economics went down, but he's not going to tell you that. He's going to use the Moynihan report, which is a Democratic thing, by the way. You know what I'm saying? He's going to use Democratic talking points to say why the black, but he's not.
It was a report that had fact in it. Whether it was Democrat or Republican.
How could it have a fact in it when it didn't even happen yet? Like the Moynihan report was talking about single mothers in 1950 something when black people still had the highest rate of the lowest rate of single motherhood. So it didn't even happen in the first place for it to be accurate. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not even true. And the Moynihan report is a Democratic racist kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of Democrats use. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Thomas Sowell, like, yo, he does not tell the whole story. He does not tell the truth. He gets the truth from, he gets his information from Milton Friedman. And yeah, I disagree with a lot of the things, but like, he's going to leave out how the white middle class was built off of this welfare stuff that he says is destroying the black community, but it built the white community. But he don't talk about that part of it. Oh yeah. He's not going to talk about how the black economic structure was demolished in the first place. This is a reason why he don't debate nobody, because he's full of it.
Hey, Forecast, I think we all know how our black in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, like black folks we had our own economy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but choices that our predecessors made destroyed that wealth. And we can parse through the details maybe a little bit later, but like the white man was so racist those days that he didn't realize how much wealth black people had. And then once he realized, then he started putting out stuff to other white businessmen on how to get our money. And then at the same time, we had MLK telling us the best thing we could do is have a milkshake next to Becky and Brad and work in their corporations and not have our own. So
because if Thomas Sowell is telling us we can have milkshakes with Becky and Brad and it's okay, and Thomas Sowell, but Martin Luther King say that. I disagree with what you said, because like Thomas Sowell ain't telling you how the economics got messed up in our community. He's just saying,
Thomas Sowell never told. Thomas Sowell never tried to convince black people to give up their small businesses and marry white people. He just said maybe you can call him an integrationist, but at the end of the day, he's the economics guy. He wants black people to engage in economics. So we can try to hold on, Forecast. We can try to tag certain anti-black things on Thomas Sowell all we want, but the fact remains that economics is universal, and we have an economic system here. And it's weird to me, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, black folks had their own stuff, and then that went away. And then we keep talking about systematic racism, and that's why we poor and they held us back, when literally the white man cannot stop me and you from building a business together, you know, or
they literally, like, bro, like, yo, well, number one, because we was talking about Thomas Sowell, you know what I'm saying, and he does not mention any of that, and I wonder why, because he always talk about, well, you, like, we blame
does he need to?
In this, like, you, no, you just literally said, well, you know, back then it was, Thomas Sowell does not say that. He be,
well, I mean, does he need to? It's obvious. Everybody knows this. So Thomas Sowell doesn't need to say anything about it, because he literally all these other black folks back then and even today, even like and I didn't even know about this until a few years ago, because I used to be on some like and it was a pro-black that put me in my place, that I was like, oh, we just welfare.
I didn't hear the first part of what you said about First White Woman, because you was your thing went out for a second.
Oh, okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, look, even years ago, before I internalized how much wealth and how much, because I was under the false impression we ain't never built nothing, we ain't never had nothing, and it's like, no, it took a pro-black person to show me the facts, and I was like, oh crap, we had an alternate, economy that was functioning, whatever, blah blah blah. And then you know, we gave it away.
But
So,
what you
but
not
like I said,
realizing.
I didn't know that, but once I understood that, I was like, oh, okay. So, but the thing about it is, we shouldn't have to rely on Thomas Sowell to have to tell us that, I guess. So,
But Thomas Sowell is wrong, though. That's the point. Like you, like, oh, we just gave it away. That's not what happened, bro. Like, yo, you wonder why, like, schools today is like it's still not really segregated. You might got like 5 white people going to a black school. And 5
we're
black
mostly segregated.
It's not though, bro. Like, have you been
It's
to a black
segregated. It's segregated by economics. Yes, it is. We're mostly segregated in this country. If you look at like all underperforming school, most underperforming schools, it's taken over. I mean, most of the demographic there are us. So and also, and I'll let you go. I want to read one of the comments. PFuck100 said, my thing about these pro-black arguments is you are giving ET folks too much credit power in the detrimental decisions we blacks make. Exactly. Well, look, we can give credit where credit's due, but we like to, and it's just like conspiracy theorists. We always want to have some shadowy white man rubbing his hands together in some council room with the rest of these. We're gonna get the blackies. We're gonna get them.
But that
it is just like, dude.
Work, like, this is why P Funk need to come on here and stop like saying BS in the chat, because nobody even here said that.
He doesn't have to come on because he's literally saying what I'm saying, so he don't even need to come on if you don't want to.
You're wrong and he's wrong though. Thomas Sowell, we was talking about Thomas Sowell. We never said nothing about no day. Thomas Sowell got his talking points from a white person, so if anything, that's what you're
okay. So everything white people say is a lie. Is that what you're saying? So every single thing white people say is a lie. Is that what you're saying?
Hear me say Thomas Sowell left out the half truth. He tells half truth.
No, I understand that's your narrative. I understand that's your narrative forecast. But what I'm saying is,
I was explaining different half truths, and then you made excuses why they wasn't like whatever. Like, he did not mention the Highway Act of 1955. Black people didn't just give their stuff away, bro. Like,
I know eminent domain. Like, we know this, but guess what? Guess what? And you can at me, and you can other races of people that had their shit burnt down, taken, and all that. Maybe not at the same scale as us, but
the white people
rebuild. Hold on, people rebuild.
The white how was
forecast. People rebuild. People migrate. People rebuild. People. You know, so it's just like, yeah, we know, like, I agree with, like, I didn't deny what you said. Yes, there was the Highway Act where they damn sure built highways through black neighborhoods, especially they wanted to separate from us even more because of white flight and all that. I get that, but guess what? People rebuild. So and they migrate.
Let me say something right quick, because
what they're saying is some BS. They did not be rebuilt. Why? Because, like, because we talk about what Thomas Sowell is talking about. He's talking about in the 50s.
So they could not rebuild. So people can't leave. So people.
Okay, you don't want to know why they didn't rebuild. Okay, go ahead. Ask me a question.
Hey, so but check this out, then, right?
No, go ahead. No forecast. No forecast. Finish. Sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
Okay, yeah. So, because he's talking about some, oh yeah, you're stuck in the past. You have no solution for now, no accountability, which is a.
No. Tell us why black people had their stuff. Like, okay, let's reset the room so we can get to the point. The Highway Act, like we all, I agree with you. They used eminent domain and those laws to purposely demolish black neighborhoods, even though highways were needed. Let's just get that highways were needed.
Not through the middle of black communities.
Hold on, man. Let me finish. I understand. So yes, they use that as a pretext to destroy black wealth and property. Yes. But what I am saying is that so that happened. But the thing that's curious to me is that people had the opportunity to move and still try, at least attempt to rebuild. I'm not saying, because the thing about it is, just because you try to rebuild, that's not a guarantee you're gonna rebuild it. So so that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really understand how,
because you cut me off. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, yo, if you talk about it, if you go back and look, once they destroyed the black communities with the black jobs and all of this stuff, what do you have to work to get the money? But
no. Let's back up. You're a black community in like Illinois or someplace like that in the Midwest where they were building highways. They destroyed your shop, your house, you know, all that eminent domain. You still had the black community there or the black people there. They had options. Now, when people have options, sometimes they're not good options. They're the crappiest options you can have, but they're still options. You have the option to either move to somewhere else and rebuild, or you have the option to stay in that general area and still try to rebuild.
But bro,
Okay.
like, see,
And hold on. And
okay,
before you brought up the black jobs thing and blah, 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 you look, when black people are confronted with people hurting, killing us over racism and stuff like that, black people used to migrate. I don't know what if you know this, but in the South, we heard of the Great Migration, right?
come on, where did they move to,
People
bro? What are you
people moved all over the country for
to
better economic
Chicago?
opportunity and to have better treatment, even though they didn't get varying degrees of better treatment, whatever, but they still migrated. So when like me, if I live in Oregon, if I'm convinced white men are trying to kill every Negro they can get their hands on, I'm not staying in Oregon. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Where you can
So
go?
that's what I'm saying, as an example. But go
So,
ahead,
so let,
forecast.
I
So
mean,
why
like,
didn't
'cause
they
y'all
rebuild?
all over the place. Because I was talking about the thing, like, yo, when they just like when people rebuilt their cities, I'm talking about when they start trying to rebuild them cities, right? The city, most of the cities passed ordinance like, oh, well, you can't build with such and such. It made it harder, and like, yo, black people couldn't get the things. And not only that, they didn't have jobs or none of that. You know what I'm saying? But even when you talk about, well, when I leave and move out, where are you going to move to that it doesn't have an influence on the world? You're going to have to do something about it, bro. So so tell me, put me on. Where am I supposed to move to where they ain't
Uh,
no
I
influence?
mean, there's places where black people were able to move to and build. So
Well, tell me.
after like before segregation, they were some people were chased out of their neighborhoods. You know, when Rosewood happened, Black Wall Street happened, people left. Some people decided to rebuild, and some people didn't. And the thing about it is, shout out to PF Funk. And this is why I rock with him. He's like, so you get tricked in a 20-foot hole, you're gonna keep talking about how you got in the hole or come up with
No,
solutions to
bro.
get out. And that's what I'm saying. Like,
If you don't talk about
so
how
it's
you
just
got
like
in the hole in the first place, do you not think that you're gonna end up back in the same hole? If you be like, well, when we did this, this is what they've done to put us in this hole. So maybe we should avoid that so we don't end up in this hole. Or you're gonna be like, oh, well, stop complaining and just go assimilate like P Funk is talking about, because he might well go with his white girlfriend now. And
P Funk never even said anything like that. So
well,
that
that's what he's saying,
that's what
Carter.
he's saying.
That's what
If
he's
you get
saying.
tricked into a 20-foot hole, are you gonna complain? So when you get out the hole and you never talk about how you got tricked in the hole, you will be tricked in the hole again because you have never discussed it, right? But I heard you mention you say you used to call black folks the welfare queens, right? Let me ask you a question, right?
maybe now,
I
yeah,
say
there's a lot of welfare queens. Actually, it's an American attitude more than maybe a black attitude, but yeah, there's a lot of entitled people that think that government should hand them something.
I got you. So watch this, right? Black people say that, and I wouldn't have a problem if they did give it. But watch this, right? Do you know how private schools were built? White private schools. Do you know where they got their money from?
They stole it from black people and they build it. I'm pretty sure you're gonna say something like that.
No, if you don't, it's okay to say you don't know. So I'm gonna show you the welfare queens, right? So when they ended segregation and integration started, right? You had white school teachers that refused to teach black students, right? So you had black teachers who was getting jobs in the school system and couldn't even get a full check of what a school teacher is supposed to get, because when those white school teachers quit and went to a private school, half of the money that public school teachers are supposed to get was going to white teachers that's teaching at private schools, and the public schools was still paying them a check. So when we talk about welfare recipients, let's keep it where it is. So then when you go on, when you see these private schools, because now they done built up off being welfare recipients, and when you look in the beginning, when they first got their school buses, the public school system, since white folks didn't want to ride the bus with black folks, they were selling certain buses from certain areas, and I wonder what students weren't able to. was having a buses sold for $2, a whole bus for $2 to build up a system so they could have for themselves. So when we say we can just move and build, don't act, and I'm not saying don't try, because I came from an era and I came from people who actually, I went to a all black, I guess it would be pre-K. That's where I went before I was born 51. That's why I went while integration was going on. Most of where I'm from, we had all black with all black bus drivers, everything all black. Where I was from, that's what we did. But they didn't get no government assistance. This was poor black people putting their money together. But when you got the people who already have money, rich, and they got rich off our backs, and then they become welfare recipients, where the government is still helping them, gave them reparations for slavery. But then once schools integrated, let's just pay these people to go teach at a private school. We'll still pay them until these private schools make enough money to stand on their own. And then we look and say, well, we should be able to do the same thing. We could do something like that today, but it would be on a smaller scale. So don't try to act like the economics in this situation in this country is totally equal, because it is not, and it has been a design to keep it from being equal. And that's one of the things that, oh boy, won't speak on. Now, but I am a firm believer in.
Can I come in, Brother Bakari? Because I don't want to get lost in some of what you said. I do want to respond to the core of what you've said. So you said that whole school systems, because of integration, whole alternate school systems were set up for white people, and they took funds from public coffers to fund private schools, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you said they did things like, they sold school buses for like $2 and all that stuff, and I get it. Were you aware that Black people own their own transportation systems? I know you were aware of this, but I'm being facetious, or not facetious. It's a rhetorical question, but there were whole states where they had Black people that ran their own transportation systems, and white people used to patron them too as well, before certain laws and stuff were passed. So it's kind of hard for me to like full on quote unquote sympathize, for lack of a better term, because Black people have gone through extreme lengths to educate their youth. And I'm talking about sitting on, dirt packed floors. I'm just saying, like, these people were like, we're going to educate our children by any means necessary. And this is before Malcolm X. So while I understand what you're saying, that can't really stop, the white man can't really stop you from having an enclosed, or like the white man literally said, I want you N-words together, you teach yourselves or something. I just don't see how that was a disadvantage when Black people were supposed to stay together and we got to educate our own, which they got educated. We still have Black doctors, Black lawyers, Black everything else back in those days. But it seems that if the white man takes something from us, we can't do right or something like that. This is what I'm hearing, is like we can't do right unless the white man's systems are working for us, even though there are plenty of examples of people making their own systems and them having a decent outcome at least. So I understand white folks did all this underhanded stuff 60, 80 years ago, or 50, 60 years ago, 30 years ago, whatever. It's still, to me, it's like the solution would have been, well, they sold a bus for $2. Well, we got this brother that got a bus, or we got cars. So Black folks still had, yes, there were still Black folks that had money even those days. So let's just keep that out there. So like, I get it, where they did these nefarious things and it disadvantaged us in the white system. But it seemed that Black folks were really adept at making their own systems to make at least decent outcomes. I'm not saying the best outcomes, but like at least a better outcome that they would have had instead of relying on the white man all the time.
Well, actually, it wasn't just, oh, we relying on the white man. It is something that this government that you cape for and you'll never say nothing about, and you're proud to wear the red, white, and blue. It is something that this government said was supposed to happen, but they're okay with taking the money from black people. But then when black people just say, well, that's okay, let's just figure out another way because we're not supposed to say anything about what happened. So you say 50, 60 years ago, have you ever heard of Mount Bayou, Mississippi? I don't think so because I hear y'all talk about Rosewood and Black Wall Street, right? If you go Mount Bayou, Mississippi, once called the Harlem.
I've actually heard about it, but I forget all the details as well as I know the other ones.
So let me give you some details then. It's the oldest and still the only all black community in this country that nobody has ever owned a business there but black people. But I'm gonna show you what happened, right? Because it's right up the road for me, probably about 75, 80 miles from where I grew up. Been there several times, right? So when you go, money that black people saved from slavery, well, after slavery, Reconstruction, communities that they built, businesses that they built, nothing, all black money. It was around 83. Your family is still there, Unitas One. That's not far from me. So all that money that they had saved, do you know how they went broke? So I'm going to tell you how they went broke, the reason their hospital ended up shutting down and everything. Because I know you don't want to say nothing about this system and act like there's nothing against us. A white person, when he stepped,
I never said that, but whatever, Brother Bakari, because I literally said you. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He stepped in a pothole and broke his ankle. Money saved from slavery money, from about $25 million. The town at this time was down between 5,000 to 7,000 people. People that clearly sustained themselves. He went to court and the state gave him damn near all of the money that the town had. That's what bankrupted. That's why then after you do that, to shut the hospital down, you go to the state and ask, can we get help for this hospital? What do you think the state said? No. So then as you start to look and see, Mount Bayou start to look bad. But it wasn't because black people there didn't care about their stuff. It wasn't because black people wasn't trying. They had their own everything. It's a system that's in place. Now,
okay, I got you, Brother Bakari.
Let me say this right quick.
No, you said no. We want to know because you're adding on. Like, let's just stay on the hospital. Hold on, Brother Bakari. Let's stay on Mount Bayou because you added more stuff. Okay,
I was still talking about that. But go ahead.
Yeah, but the thing about it is you laid out how white people took away their economic viability. I get that. So, was it a white man that broke his ankle?
Yeah.
Okay, a white man broke his ankle. They awarded him all this money, and it drained the coffers of that functioning black community, and everything went down. And obviously, the decline didn't happen because people, obviously that killed their cash reserves and all that stuff. I get that, and things kind of fell into disrepair. They asked the white state for help. Obviously, they weren't getting that. Okay, I get that. How long ago was that again, Brother Bakari?
That was in the early to mid 80s.
So between now and then, in the state of Mississippi, do you think $25 million would have been like very hard? Well, obviously there's inflation and dollars are less worth, but it's kind of hard for me to believe that a state full of black people could not pull their resources and ask other black people, because this has happened before. Like, let's group, like black people used to practice group economics, so that they couldn't have a fundraiser. And I'm not trying to, I'm not throwing shade at these people. What happened to them was messed up and is wrong, but it's just weird to me that in the 80s that happened. And even then, black folks were getting at the money then, maybe not the levels today, but there were still rich black folks then. They couldn't attempt to rebuild that place where they don't have white people running around firebombing anything. They're using just legalese tricks. We get that. But that judgment did not stop other black people intervening and putting on that to save that hospital. Because I know for a fact, if my family up in the Northeast, you know, because I'm from Jersey, and there's enough pro-black, pro-wax in my family that would have been freaking like, oh my God, we gotta do something, you know. So it's just like I get that legalese trick happened to those people, but it's kind of hard for me to reconcile that between then and now. There's nothing black folks could have done to revive that.
Okay, good. So what you did was when you cut. So I'm gonna go. This is what I'm gonna say, right? Like I was saying, I'm still not one of the black people who think you should just sit and complain. Well, I ain't gonna say sit and complain because it's not a complaint. It's okay to talk about what has happened. Sit and not do anything. I'm not one of those people. So now, since I was using Mount Bayou, I was telling what white folks do. Then I was gonna also talk about how black folks with some of their strength. It took them to the 21st century to start making money, the late 21st. But you can see they're doing a revitalization. They don't have the hospital, but they have people have come back with money, and they have put medical clinics there with black doctors.
Was it funded by Michael Jordan? Because he's spent like $40 million to put black clinics in like okay.
No, this was not funded by Michael Jordan. This was funded by the people from there, right? So when you see them rebuilding, we are supposed to want to be a part of that. But while we're rebuilding, I'm not going to tell nobody to ignore what has happened, because if you ignore what has happened, it will continue to happen. Just like you can say, oh, the Klan ain't riding through doing this. There's no different in the Klan than a white boy that went up in that church in South Carolina. There's no different in the Klan in that white boy.
Whoa, brother! No.
Oh my goodness!
We're not doing that, brother Bakari. Because
you're not doing what?
That is not the same. Hold on. The reason why I'm saying it's not the same, you're conflating a terrorist act with actually terrorists back in the day. That no, hold on, brother Bakari. The reason why I separate those two is because there's a white boy that was a terrorist that hated black people, and he committed a terrorist act, compared to a terrorist act with literally destroying black infrastructure. Okay, that is difficult to rebuild. So like burning down houses, burning down hospitals, churches, things like that. Okay, that's not the same. Okay, he didn't burn. Okay, now hold on. I would say it's the same if he killed those 9 parishioners and set the church on fire. Then I would say that's the same thing, but it's not the same thing.
Okay, good. Well, I'm glad you said that. And say what you said again. You said they're not coming in, tearing down stuff that's hard to rebuild. So if stuff that's been torn down and it's hard to rebuild, so why are you complaining because black people haven't rebuilt it? Why are you saying
but
black people? What I'm see, but what I'm saying, see, you got
no. Hold on, brother. What I'm saying is, I don't want, because I dislike when black folks were talking about this one issue with Mond or Bayou Mond, that's what it's called. Where we're talking about this one specific thing, and then you bring in the KKK and Dylan Roof and all this other stuff. Like, come on, man. And the thing about it is, like, it's not that terrorist act is not the same as the Ku Klux Klan that literally with impunity for so long literally got to destroy, not only murder and be terrorists, they got to literally destroy what black people built. Okay, so it's not the same thing as we still have that church in South Carolina that people can still worship in. They can still do whatever and be a black safe space. So that's why I kind of hate when people because to me, that's trauma bonding to me. I'm sorry, I could be wrong. You don't have to agree, but to me, that's like trauma bonding, because that's like kind of distracting from exactly what I'm saying. And I do want to kind of move on to this because I don't want us to get bogged down on this one.
Look, I'm gonna go ahead and listen offline, man. I'm gonna keep listening. Thank you.
No, I'm not. I don't want to cut you off. No, I'm gonna let you finish, brother.
No. I can listen while I'm doing something. I got something to do. The reason I got off mine, but I came through because you come through mine. You understand? So I came through, and I can listen while I'm doing what I got to do.
Thank you, brother Bakari, for stopping by. We actually let's if you can do this, we can still have our preparedness one. You got my email, so we can talk offline. But and actually give me your number. I'll give you my number too, and we'll talk offline, and we'll have that preparedness show. But at the same time, if you can, please put on like an educational segment on Bayou Monde. And if you can invite in Unitas, and because I want to learn, you know what I'm saying? I want to learn the ins and outs so I can have a more a better view. So if you can do that, I'll sponsor it up, you know, because obviously I don't want you to, you know, your time isn't free. So yeah, how do you feel about that?
Oh, that's cool. And since my time ain't free, give me some money. I'm just clowning, bro. I'm just clowning. I'm just clowning. Yeah, you know what? I have to go through and do it again, and I got to show where they rebuild it. I've done a couple of topics on Mount Bayou because actually, I'm gonna say this before I go. I tried to use Mount Bayou, and I know they don't get the respect and love they deserve. And I'm gonna tell you now, this is my reason why, and this is what me and my son talk about. Right? I've never said this live on air. This you'll be the first time I ever said this. I think it don't get the respect that it deserved because it was not completely torn up, and it was because it could not be completely torn up because when they came through to completely tear it up, 15,000 black people gathered with their guns and bullets to protect it from the Klan, right? Because it was theirs. And I think
That's Black Power.
Since it wasn't completely torn up, and they haven't done a movie about it, but I don't disrespect Tulsa. They couldn't rebuild what happened. I don't disrespect Rosewood. I try to use all of them for inspiration because if we did it then with less, we should be able to do it now with more. But Mount Bayou, my guy, he was showing me where they were actually rebuilding and they bringing the clinics back, and they are trying to take their town and they are trying to take it back. Like, we don't want the county to be our trash company anymore. We want to give the trash company back to the people here who own the trash business once before. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I want to use it for inspiration. And on that note, peace and love, forecast. I'm gonna be listening offline.
All right, peace, Bakari.
All right, thank you, brother Bakari, for stopping by, brother. My elder.
Yeah, my elder too. Bakari need to retire.
Thank you. Shout out to P Funk 100. Him and Forecast been freaking just bludgeoning each other in the comments. Look, okay. I'm gonna have to agree with PF Funk 100. Like, seriously, can you tell me a solution? Because like obviously you know we've heard your that. Yes, please.
Okay, a solution. Okay, I'll talk about the water issue all the time, and there's a billion damn solutions that you could do for that. You know what I'm saying? Like we actually have we try to put together stuff, you know what I'm saying? Now, I made an organization. I'm not gonna tell y'all the name for y'all to be hating on the organization, you know what I'm saying? But that is to fix the water issues that's going on in black communities, you know what I'm saying? But P-Funk, and that's what I'm saying. P-Funk is full of it because he keeps saying something, list your solutions. When his only solution, I guess his only solution is just to assimilate. But he's like, well, I'm not saying it's assimilate, but you know.
Well, yeah, he didn't.
Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Because people is full of, because you don't do this First Rifleman. You got a channel where you talk about preparedness, you know what I'm saying? That's the solution, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say you, but P-Funk don't have a bit of solution sitting there talking about, or you're on the panel when they scared to death to come on the panel to say any of their ideas or nothing like that because they know they'll get cut to death. You know, you definitely said assimilate, you know what I'm saying? You definitely said that, P-Funk. But yeah, there's a billion solutions. And the number one thing is like, for black people to stop sitting there tearing down black people. Every time somebody have an idea or do something, it's going to be black people the first one to be like, well, that's never going to work because X, Y, and Z and this and that. You know what I'm saying? Just like I gave salute. Well, and instead of saying, well, this solution or that, you know what I'm saying? That person never said anything about any solution I gave. Another one, we like to vote all the damn time. We could pick successful black business owners, right? And we all vote for that and have them strictly in charge of funding and growing black businesses, right? Since we want to vote for who is the less of evil or whatever, you know what I'm saying? We could have done that, but you're not going to do that, you know what I'm saying? I know P Funk, you definitely said assimilate, and you didn't say anything, but what you're saying is assimilate. You never said anything. That's the point, you know what I'm saying? Because when people ask you what's your, and notice First Rifleman, I've never been like, well, what's your solution to all of this? You know what I'm saying? We may disagree with the solutions, or we may disagree with the ideologies, but he's not going to be like, well, because he's heard us say this, and I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, First Rifleman, you're dumb for like trying to train. No, I think that's a good thing. That's why I'm over here, you know what I'm saying? Because I think that's a good thing. No, P Funk, you don't have any solutions, and you're sitting there telling other people what their solutions is and what their solutions isn't, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't include your white girlfriend in my plan, you know what I'm saying, doesn't mean that I don't have a solution, you know what I'm saying? My solution just doesn't include your white girlfriend, and that's the problem. Now, if you got something to say, you can come on here, but I don't think that you have the courage. You only have the courage to be in the, and that's why I shout out First Rifleman, because even if we disagree, he's going to come on the panel, you know what I'm saying? And he's going to say his disagreements, you know what I'm saying? Now, I do disagree when you kind of be cutting people off lately, you know what I'm saying? But like, you're going to stand on what you're saying. P-Funk is not going to stand on what he's saying, you know what I'm saying? He don't have not one solution. Like, he'd be like, oh, you said 3 solutions, you know what I'm saying? Is that all? And then if I ask him, well, you're on the panel, brother, you know what I'm saying? And then I'd be like, well, your solution is similar. I never said, go back and listen to all of your, because if that's the case, you don't have no solution. So don't ask me what my solutions is if you don't even have one.
Okay, forecast. Well, okay. Like, when he's saying solutions, and I understand where he's coming from. I'm just gonna, and he can correct me if I'm wrong. When you said, oh, people always like shout down solutions, like when people, you know, like, hey, what's this, and that, and people shout it down. A lot of quote unquote pro-wax, I call them pro-wax.
No, I'm only saying P-Funk shot it down, not black people.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Unitas One. Thank you for sticking with me. And people who are in here, if you're able, give a shout out from where you live in or who's here, because I can't see who's here in the room, but it's looking like 11 people watching us. So I like to know who you are and give you a shout out and all that stuff. So thank you for being on the Rifleman Show. It's my first StreamYard ever. You know, we're gonna have more, and we're gonna, you know, keep moving forward. But anyway, forecast. This is where I'm at, and you're right. You're talking about P-Funk said that. I've been in a similar situation where Black folks will continuously go on and on about how white man destroyed something, undermined us, and we had a negative outcome. And it would keep white man. Okay, cool. He destroyed this, A, B, or C. Okay, and then when people are like, what's the solution? And then people like Pan-Africanism Strikes Back, me, P-Funk, hell, even Dynast, they're like, well, like you said, like, the solution is like starting a preparedness channel, like something like that. Okay. But then there's other people that come in with this buck broken mindset. I call it an FBA buck broken mindset, where they're just like, no, the white man's going to stop you. No, the government's going to stop. And so any solution you put forward, they're already pre-selected them not to fail because the white man, right. Or if there's an idea that may work, they're just going to be like, you got to colonize mine, or you want to Eurocentric say, like the whole, and we're going to circle back around to the water boy. I think we'll close it out at that, because we're closing in on 2 hours. So the whole, like, you know, me telling them to pull up their pants and put on khakis and polo shirts. People are trying to conflate that with Europe, you know, us trying to kowtow to European standards and all that, when it's more just better business practices. So,
I mean, yo, I agree with you. I'm saying that's exactly what P-Funk is doing. When I say, you're on mute. Are you saying something? Oh, my bad.
Go ahead. No, I wasn't. I was adding Africulture. Shout out to Africulture's Concepts. Thank you, my brother. He's always supporting me.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'll be quick so he can get it in. All right, so like, yeah, because P-Funk is literally doing what you just said. You know what I'm saying? When black people say something, is a black. Well, I don't know if that person is black or not. You know what I'm saying? But there's another black person that's right there to be like, you on mute?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm laughing.
Oh, yeah, I'm looking on YouTube. I'm looking on the YouTube, and it's a little bit behind. That's why I'm like, my bad. But anyway, so like with P Funk, you know what I'm saying? Like I sit there and just name, he like, what's your solution? So I named 3 of them. And then instead of saying what's wrong with the solution or whatever, or my solution is this, he just I don't know what he's talking about. He's just going through some other stuff. Like, so I don't know what P Funk is doing. I'm not sure if this is even a black person at all, you know what I'm saying? But
No,
at the same
P-Funk,
time,
he's black. He's definitely black.
you know, okay, well, I mean, a lot of people say that they're black and they're not. So, but anyway, but like, and that's my point. You know what I'm saying? I give salute, and that's my point. Because when I talk about it, and First Rifleman know this, that's why it ain't no real problem. We disagree, but it ain't no real problem. First Rifleman know I'm not sitting there like, oh well, white people is so bad. I'm trying to get black people to do the same damn thing, bro. Protect your damn culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, put gates around your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even the other day I was talking about Pearly. It's not because I care about the white girl. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with black men so addicted to this damn white girl? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
and
thank you for bringing that up, because like the thing that's come out of all this is black people, black men in particular, have become more fragmented on YouTube, and that's the biggest tragedy out of all this whole JPT thing. So
yeah. And the thing is, P Funk said, I didn't hear your 3 solutions. And right. So and the thing is, if I didn't say anything about 3, so how would you know it's 3 solutions? Because I never said 3 solutions. So obviously you did hear it when I said, you know what I'm saying, I named 3 things. So obviously you're lying, or you're wrong, or you're dumb, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? But the first damn solution is to stop sitting there trying to go at other black people. Have the same smoke for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all black people can do, is be like, oh well, you have no solutions for this, you have no, when all we do is sit there and talk about solutions. We talk about building our economy, we talk about fixing our water, we talk about all of these other things. And that's the whole reason First Rifleman come by, because he know we're not just sitting there like, oh, white people is bad and this and that. I don't care what they do. You know what I'm saying? They can do whatever they want to do. You know what I'm saying? But when we start talking about solutions, people like P Funk is not in the building. And another thing is, it's dumb to put all of your information. Like, if I was to be like the business I'm creating and call you and tell you the name, like when people make, and this is just as far as business, don't put your damn name on the business, especially if you're doing a certain thing, because it could hurt you. You know what I'm saying? But like, yo, nonprofits, I talk about nonprofits, how we can use nonprofits to help feed the people in the inner city communities. You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna ask them to do something, yo, nonprofits is the perfect way to do that. You can take their resources and then bring it back to your community and feed the people and build structures. We talk about the septic tanks. You know what I'm saying? We can approach other companies. Like, that's just, the nonprofit is another damn solution. Now, the brother in the chat didn't give not one solution. All he did was say, well, you said this and this, which we know he's lying, because I gave 3 solutions. He didn't say that the solutions was wrong, right? But he's still saying, I'm waiting to hear the 3 solutions that you already gave me. So we know that he's full of it. So, but my bad. I'm gonna let Afri culture.
Oh, how about this? Before Afri goes and cooks, how about this? Obviously I'm gonna collab with Brother Bakari soon. I'm gonna start calling him Elder Bakari. That big white beard, man. I just think of an elder. But anyway, we can actually, especially because you exclude, and that's why I mess with you, because you actually do talk about that water situation in a bit more depth, even though we don't agree, blah blah blah. But we can have a solutions live stream on here, so people can be more aware, because obviously we talk about solutions and you actually do, whether we agree or not. So I'm willing to have that live stream so we could just parse out those details and, you know, and go from there. So that I'm definitely for that, if you're down for that.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll have that maybe a week or something. We can obviously talk offline. So, but let me before Afri goes, let me circle back around to the Waterboy thing, and I'll close out on that, and we'll have a, you know, you guys can go in, and Afri can bring up whatever he wants, and then we'll close out after that. So the Waterboy situation in Atlanta, and I'll just do a quick overview of it. So what's going on is we have our wayward youth. Unfortunately, we have mostly young black boys that don't have any resources, no guidance, probably don't have a stable home life, more than likely product of a single mother, blah, blah, blah. And what they're doing is they're selling bottles of water for like $1 at intersections in all over or certain parts of Atlanta. And a law was passed or a local ordinance or something like that to curtail that, to stop that. So they're not allowed to do that. I think they kind of still do it when the cops aren't around, but when the cops show up, they have to kind of like disperse and all that. So we were talking on Brother Bakari's channel earlier about what was going on, or people were bringing it up. And so my thing was, and Kamisi Fox, shout out to Kamisi Fox. Okay. I was suggesting something that can help them. I was suggesting something of along the lines of a better business practice. And I keep bringing up the khaki thing and the polo thing. And from there, I was just like, hey, that would just help them be more serious, show people they're more serious about their business. It shows that they're scaling up. It shows something, and people like that. And other people took it as me kowtowing to European standards. So I was talking about a solution for these young men, but some people, and Brother Bakari, to his credit, was like, he gaslit on that situation, and he apologized and all that, which is great, because he kept focusing on, we shouldn't tell the young black boys they have to do that and they're at disadvantage with all that. And I was like, cool, but I was just showing them that shows other people that they're serious. And like I said, I used the Best Buy example where we're not going to buy computers from people who sag their pants, who can't speak intelligently and all that stuff. So that's all I'm saying is like, that was kind of like my just offering a better business practice, not me saying them boys need to do better, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
because
bro.
Also too, you disagree with me, Forecast. You were just like, they shouldn't have to do that. So can you before you, I'm sorry, Afri, I keep telling you but I want to get through this so you can cook as long as you want. So Forecast, what do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I still disagree. Let me say this, you know what I'm saying? I understand if you would be like, yo, if you look clean or like, not like you're homeless and a bunch of like holy clothes and stuff like this, but like my thing when I say that I think that you do have European point of reference, you know what I'm saying, when you talk about what somebody looks like if somebody has a damn white t-shirt and some jeans and some dreads on, they're not dressed professionally, you know what I'm saying? So you're gonna not buy water from them? Like, so like what I'm saying
no,
is
it's not that I wouldn't buy water. It's just a business practice that will bring more people to buy water from them. That's all I'm suggesting. I'm not saying that they have to, but it's just that if you want to add air of legitimacy from the local populace and from the local civil authorities, i.e. City Hall, police, that only helps your case to be there and not make it easier for them just to sweep you off.
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying about that, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, I see, like, I don't know how it goes in other people's cities, so I'm just speaking of my personal thing. I see like, people selling cookies and water and lemonade. They don't have these whatever, they just have regular clothes on, but we're not like, oh well, you should dress better to get more business, even if they had some damn suits on. Like, let's be real, like black people like P-Funk is gonna find a damn reason not to support them, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, but Forecast, I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, and this is just me, I obviously my algorithm and my social media feed is not the same as yours and other people's, but
right.
When I look out, like, and I see other people selling stuff on the road, like you said, people be selling oranges, people sell cookies, people sell all this other stuff on the side of the road and they don't get messed with. But at the same time, there's not a plethora of negative social media. And why I say that, like, they showed a video of those young men getting robbed, not those, but some water boys getting robbed. And then another one where there's just like people fighting, like trying to like, in order to sell sell to one of the cars, they're like fighting each other. So, and I'm not saying that's the norm, but what I'm saying is people that capture these images and broadcast it, and everybody knows bad news travels 4 times faster than good news. So what I'm saying is that perception alone is putting them at a disadvantage when compared to other people who sell on the side of the road.
Yeah, but you saying that like, yo, bro, like, yo, people do that to black men black youth, especially the young boys, bro. Like no matter what you have, they be like, oh, black people are so ghetto and so this. I could show a billion videos of like white people selling stuff. I just don't do that, but you know what I'm saying. I could go through and do a whole episode on white people being ghetto, you know, dressed in whatever, selling stuff on the side of the road, but they get supported, they make money. And the point is, we can't expect nobody else to support us. You know what I'm saying? But if you as a brother see some brothers out there selling some water and you like, well, they not dressed the way that I want to, like we can't expect other groups to like support them. We have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like the money has to be within our community because we don't have
But I mean, why can't they gear it to where they can get more resources from other people and then bring it just back to us? So but what I'm saying is I get what you're saying, but why can't they wear khaki and a polo and bring in 15, 20, 30% more and bring it back to their community? I don't understand why that's such a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like why that, you know, like why not do that?
No,
Hey, can I defend this forecast? Because it's Atlanta and I'm the one that brought it up. I'm going to say again, these are 13, 14-year-old children. Sometimes you get, these are teenagers. You very
That's when you
seldom
teach
find
kids how to
some.
be professional.
You very seldom going to find some over 16, 17 years old. And you can't teach them nothing, because I heard him chime in. You can't teach them nothing if you don't want to deal with them. So what I said is I buy water from them. Even if I have water, I would still donate, ask them to get a case. And in the process of me doing that, I can tell them then, pull your pants up. Look, man, you know you'll look a little better if you pull your pants up. Really don't nobody want to see your drawers, but I'm glad to see you out here trying to do your thing. You ain't trying to rob nobody.
Yeah.
Pull your pants up, man. Just pull your pants up. Look a little bit. But if we don't deal with them, period.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't deal with our youth, we can't tell them nothing.
Yeah, you're right about that.
That was my point. So when I said I gaslit, what you said was, you said something about khakis and a polo, right? I understand what you were saying. You can teach them something, you can change and have them look a different way, right? I understand what you were saying. I gaslit that out of my own, and I already said that for my own personal reasons. But at the same time, if I don't buy water from this young man, I can't scream at him, pull your damn pants up. This is how you supposed to look. That's what I'm saying. So when I support them, then I can talk to them, and I was talk to them in a respectful way, and I ain't just sitting there telling them how bad they are. That was my point of it.
All right, thank you, Brother Bakari, for putting more clarity to what you said. I appreciate that. All right. We've gone on a lot. So thank you for your patience, Africulture. Go ahead and just put your thoughts out there and we'll interact.
Yeah, bro. Y'all having a very good conversation, man. I definitely agree with Brother Bakari, what he just said, because he definitely left some good clarity. You know, it is a way to approach these cats, you know, that don't have no guidance, because if you come at them too tough, you know, too restrict or too conservative, then you're gonna push them away. You know what I'm saying? Then they're gonna rebel. You know what I'm saying? They'll probably even try to commit violent acts against you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it is a amount of decorum that needs to be practiced, but American First Rifleman is exactly right. Like, bro, you know, when my daddy was an architect, contractor, whatever you want to call it, build houses from scratch. You know what I'm saying? That's why I learned how to do business with people. You know, I learned how to present myself to the world. You know, and we really gotta drop this so-called European perspective, bro. All cultures come from all over the world. And the ones that sell to other people and give other goods and services to other people, they present themselves professionally, bro. You know, it don't matter where they from. So we really gotta drop that as African Americans or whatever you want to call yourself. We really gotta drop that. We really do need to push professionalism to our young brothers and some of these cats that's our age, because you know, let's just be real. You know, I see the title of the video, and the reason why I'm not gonna say all of it's because the YouTube Negroes, but a lot of these black content creators, bro, even though they say they pro-black, all they doing is echo chambering anti-black shit. It's causing controversy between black men and black women, different content creators, and after a while it's just gonna come crumbling down, bro. Where is the example? Where are the examples being set? You know what I'm saying? And where is the professionalism when you got these people that so say be selling these goods on YouTube and dropping content, but they also, you know, selling controversy. You know what I'm saying? So it's all around the board, bro. We do have to teach professionalism. Like, I'm a web developer. You know what I'm saying? You're not finna do business with me if I don't have a website where you can go to and purchase my services. You know what I'm saying? If I come in your inbox telling you to pay me on Cash App, you're not gonna deal with me. You know what I'm saying? That's the same way that we need to approach doing business. These young brothers out here selling water. That's what's up, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because water is a very demanding resource that people need, especially in the summertime. But let's be real, bro. Yeah, they could make money. They could still make money with the clothes on their back, but they could sell to everybody, dressed in a professional manner. They don't even gotta have pants on. They can have on some damn shorts with their pants, with they shorts on their ass and a belt. You know what I'm saying? With a business shirt on that say so and so water, this the hood water or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got a brand, you got brand colors, you gotta present yourself like a business, bro. Don't nobody, people don't want to feel like okay, when people feel like they dealing with sketchy type looking people, they don't want to do business with them. It's not just because they just don't want to. It's just because they don't feel confidence. Just like last night, Brandon had a show last night. They would talk about crypto and all that shit, like investing. People only invest in businesses that they have confidence in. You know what I'm saying? So that goes the same way, like what you said. We need black people to be investing in all that and doing all. But even black people that got businesses that got economic power, they not gonna invest in you if they don't have confidence in you, bro. And the way you put confidence in people is by presentation, not only presenting yourself professionally, but also talking about the shit that you sell like you know it. You know what I'm saying? So let's be real. We got to get out this utopia mindset of thinking, and we got to deal with reality, bro. A lot of us don't be coming at the game correct. We be talking about each other like dogs. We talk about each other any kind of way. Grown ass men be on here venting about other niggas, you know, uh, without saying their name. Like, bro, we could leave that shit off of YouTube. Dudes need to be talking about that in person or on the phone. You know what I'm saying? But we got grown ass men out here going against each other, talking about women, talking about each other. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy, and we can't just say FBA. You know what I'm saying? It's people with the Pan African banners doing that shit too. You know what I'm
I've
saying?
I've
So
had to rein that in myself, especially talking about black women. I feel embarrassed or cringe sometimes when I think about some of the stuff I said when it didn't need to be put out there. So you're right, Africulture. Continue.
yeah, I understand. People gonna have their little points from their experience, but like a lot of these cats benefiting from that shit. Like, they monetize black exploitation, just like the old black exploitation film. You know, just like the old movies, Menace to Society, shit like that. It's just another rerun of black exploitation. You get on and you make thousands of dollars talking shit about black women. Talking shit about Pookies and Ray Rays. Like, okay, everybody know about Pookie and Ray Ray. You know what I'm saying? But fuck them, bro. Like, they not doing shit. So keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like them FBA Negroes. Hey, bro. Hey, Tariq Nasheed. Hey, that nigga. Hey, them people want to be fucked over. You know what I'm saying? They want to be fucked over. Since black people like European clothes and shit, why don't they read about the Greeks that used to write about how the masses of people love to be lied to? I forgot the name of that writing in that Greek philosopher that said that shit. But if I had it, I'll cite the source. But
I
people
think
like to be lied
Aristotle.
to. Yeah, one of them for Aristotle, it was one of them. I forgot who it was. I read it a long time ago, man. But yeah, bro, the masses like bullshit. That's why people that get on here talking about real solutions, they don't really have that much of a following. Like me, my channel, I've been on YouTube for like 2 years and I only got 300 subscribers, because I try not to talk about African history too much because people like to walk in the past all goddamn day and don't be in the future. But I offer a lot of services. I sell Pan-African based coffee. You know what I'm saying? But you got all these Pan-Africans. Ain't no Pan-Africans buying no coffee, bro. You know what I'm saying? Regular black people buy the coffee. Mexicans buy the coffee. White folks buy the coffee.
Hey,
My
put
my
your link
my
in the
my
chat.
wife,
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm a coffee drinker. I'll buy coffee from you. Shit,
man, mess with me.
tell me
PanAfricanCoffee.com, bro.
AfricanCoffee.com. Yeah,
Pan
shit,
Pan
tell me how.
African PanAfricanCoffee.com.
Yeah,
Pan
put that
Africa.
in the
Okay.
chat, bro.
Can you put the website in the back chat and I'll put it out there?
Bet. I'm finna put it in there right now. Yeah, bro. Like my wife, she slang body butter. She been doing that for like 3 years. Make a killing off of it. But
What, body butter plug?
yeah, body butter plug.
That's
Like,
your wife?
yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's my wife, bro. I'm behind, like I update her website, all that shit. I change the colors
Oh,
on it, all
dude,
that.
I gotta buy some more because I bought some of that the rose stuff and I gave it to one of my female friends. She's like,
Uh-huh.
oh my god.
Yes, that shit's off the chain, bro. Like I use it on my battle scars, everything, bro. Like it's the truth. I even use it in my beard sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, bro, like I'm gonna keep it real with you. A lot of these pro blacks, like when we dealing with customer service with these people on the back end, they talk to you dirty, bro. You know what I'm saying? They handle you like shit, and they don't value. It don't matter what type of label they got. They all act the same. We all got the same problem, bro. We dealing with this super toxic attitude, and I just as a black man and a Pan-African, the ones that got their head on straight, you need to try to keep your nose out that shit when people start to even if they don't, even if you ride with them and you cool with them, they start rubbing off that negative shit, bro. Move around because these other cats, bro, they don't need air. They don't need that all that oxygen to keep giving them oxygen so they can keep being ignited. You know what I'm saying? Flame is ignited by oxygen and fuel. You know what I'm saying? And when you keep talking about it, you giving it breath. So you blowing on the fire and you sparking it back up. And I just feel like the whole pro black looking movement that was on social media is being destroyed again. Because not only of the ones that's really agents, but the real ones, they keep giving air to it and keep giving life to it and letting these cats, run us crazy, man. Fuck these niggas, bro. These cats gonna do what they want to do. They want to be what you call it, deceived. Fuck them, let them be deceived, bro. You can't bring everybody with you. You got to do business, and we live in a country that's multicultural. You know what I'm saying? So that mindset that we got. I'm not saying that Pan-Africanism ain't the truth, because it is, but you gotta remember where you at. You know what I'm saying? And the only way you gonna make money, real money, and get big is by being able to present your product to all people, bro. You know what I'm saying? And let's be real, African men that come from they real origins, they don't sag their pants and shit. They don't be doing that shit, bro. No, so we gotta let that shit go, man. I understand we dealing with some knucklehead youngsters, but we gotta let that shit go, and we gotta stop going against the grain when somebody trying to tell us the right thing, bro. Real talk. And we gotta stop being so offended by every damn thing. Like, we grown men. We grown men. We supposed to be masculine, bro. We ain't supposed to be reacting to every goddamn thing that we hear that we don't like. You know what I'm saying? Like the homie forecast and what you call it, P Funk. Like, okay, I understand y'all don't agree, but why we gotta get personal? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's
Stop it,
keep it
brother. Stop it.
professional. Yeah, I feel you, but let's keep it professional So
Yeah,
so Negroes won't
don't
end
say
up
he
being
got a white
enemies.
girlfriend.
Yeah, like come on, man. Like let's keep it professional. Cause really,
Hey, don't say my name if you don't want me to say nothing back to you, Africulture.
nah, I ain't mad at you. I was just pulling out something that I seen when I came in because it's the same type of behavior that I see in a lot of circles where black men trying to talk. Let them women do that shit. Let the women do that shit. All that screaming and going against each other. Let them do that shit, bro. Us men, we about order and structure. You know what I'm saying? Talking over each other and shit. We about order, bro. Like you can't American First Rifleman, he know, fam. He he been in the cause I used to train with a little military dude too. One of my best homeboys is a Marine. He was a Marine corpsman. You know what I'm saying? So, I got a little understanding about how y'all get down in the battlefield, So, but like when y'all be in the battlefield, niggas don't be talking all out of order and shit. You know what I'm saying? The chief, the Indians trying to be chiefs and shit. That shit don't go
There's
down
a
like that.
hierarchy. There's a hierarchy
Yes.
that everybody understands.
Yes. And when some shit go down, like y'all want it to go down, because a lot of these Negroes, they be talking, oh, it's gonna be a race war, it's gonna be a race war, but you ain't ready for no race war because you niggas don't even know how to take orders. Cause it's gonna be niggas like American First Riflemen that's gonna be the leaders of those militias. People that got real proven experience and that probably had stripes in the military. But y'all niggas not gonna be one to listen to them because they just another Negro to you. You know what I'm saying? So us as men, bro, we gotta learn how to respect each other, regardless if we agree or not, fam. Just because they don't agree with you, don't mean that he less of a man. You know what I'm saying? Just because he got a white wife, don't get me wrong. As a Pan African, I kind of look at that, you can't be talking about like no Pan African leadership when you willing to procreate with somebody outside your continent. I understand that, but we still can't be taking their whole manhood and saying, "Oh, you not a man because you married to somebody outside your race." That's stupid, bro. That's very stupid. That's very stupid. So that's like saying, like if American First Rifleman had a white wife and he was our general, our sergeant, you not gonna listen to him because he married to a white woman? He gonna save your ass. He gonna teach you how to be a leader, how to lead your own squadron. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's all I had wanted to say, man. It's a lot of
Hey,
dysfunction in our community, and all it's gonna do is breed more dysfunction. And if we don't ignore it, it's time to like we need to stop calling it out now. It's already known that we got dysfunction. Now it's just time to keep it moving and only focus on the ones that's trying to progress. I'm done.
Hey, let
hey,
me ask him a question right quick about his
yo,
coffee.
because he says
Hey,
yes.
no, this about coffee. Wait a minute.
Hold on, guys. Hold
It's
on,
just
hold
one
on,
question.
hold on, hold
Let me
on,
ask you one
hold on.
question
Hold on,
about his
brother
coffee.
Park. Hold on, brother Park, before you go on. Thank you, Africulture. I'm at almost at 2:15, so I was supposed to end about 10 minutes ago. We can revisit this. But at the end of the day, Africulture is right. Like we have to stop some of our behavior because, like I said, that's why I love this Pan African space because I've been checked by other black men, but I have to be willing. But I'm also willing to listen. So, like I said, like he mentioned, like the gender wars between black men and black women. Like, dude, I had to disassociate myself even today, especially this just pearly thing that went on. You don't know how many people I don't had to subscribe from off of this because at the end of the day, it's a distraction. You know what I'm saying? This
Facts.
white girl don't mean nothing. Like right now, like, dude, just the other day, 20 white boys went on a 20-mile road march with all their rifles, training up how to do guerrilla tactics, all through Telegram. Okay. But we up here sitting and yelling at each other and calling each other names. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, this is what we need to get into because other races of people, they don't have qualms about listening to other people that look like them. So, did you have to say anything else, Africulture, before I kind of close out?
I just wanted to answer Bakari question if he had one.
Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead, brother Bakari.
I found so this you, Little Song High Mobile Coffee, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna get that down. One more. Actually, it was two questions, I guess. Have you tried? I can't ever remember the guy, Jackie Robinson. Have you ever tried to see if you could contact his son, who have a coffee farm over in Tanzania, and they say he is pushing out a lot of coffee from Africa. He wasn't able to get it in the stores in America though at one time. That was a few years ago. The last I read about it, I was just wondering, did you know that it was an African American over there with a coffee farm and got one of the was supposed to be one of the biggest in Africa, but he couldn't get it in the United States.
I had no clue, but I would love to connect with him so I could slang his coffee out here.
You know, Jackie Robinson, his son,
Oh yeah,
grandson.
didn't Jackie Robinson have like cock full of nuts or chock full of nuts or something like that back in the day?
I don't know about, but I know he's his son or his grandson. They got that coffee. He in Tanzania right now. That's where his farm is. So if you
did he say what barriers were stopping him from selling on the international market?
Well, it was stopping him. At one point, they were stopping him from having to come to the United States.
Like legal, like him himself, or just the coffee?
At one point, he couldn't get his coffee in the stores here. So
did he say? Okay. If you can, brother Bakari, can you research that, and I'll make sure we can blast that out.
Yeah, because I love to connect with a source, because I've been trying to find some coffee. Somebody talked to me in Uganda about some coffee, but they never got back with me. So right now I got Senegalese coffee, and I'm probably gonna have. I got some. So matter of fact, the first 5, I think the first 2. So you probably good right now. Like if you cop some right now, you're gonna get a free bag with some East African coffee too, some Ethiopian. So you're gonna get a free sample of that along with some Cafe Tuba. But I've been trying to connect with this cat in Uganda, to get some of that African Robusta or whatever. So, but yeah, if you know how to get in contact with him, or I'll try to do the research too. But yeah, if I can get his email some kind of way, I'll definitely try to plug up with him so I could support him.
Well, I'm gonna put his name. I'm looking him up now. But I was just wondering, because I know you say you had African coffee, so I wanted to mention it, and I'm glad I did.
Yo, hey, can I say something first, right, for me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yo, so I want to say, first of all, Africulture. I pulled up your website, so I'm looking on it, and after this, what I'm saying, I support your business, what I'm saying. So I just wanted to say that first of all. So I don't want you to get offended by anything that I do say, what I'm saying, because I do have to address some of the BS that you just said, brother, because some of it was just kind of crazy, what I'm saying.
Can you forecast? Can you keep it like just like 1 or 2 minutes? Because I do have to.
Yeah, I got you. No, I want to say, because I'm not mad at First Rifleman. Like, I wouldn't even be on this show. I'm saying? People like, yo, I'm emotional, I'm mad, I'm hurt, or nothing. Like, First Rifleman can come on my channel. I don't, and First Rifleman, no, even when he speak up and people against him, I'd be like, yo,
or even when I wild out, you don't kick me off.
Yeah, I don't kick you off. I wish you stop cutting people off, but just, I don't.
Dude, I thank you for bringing that up. I will do a way better job. I promise you. I'm not even messing with you. I will do.
Right. Yeah, I already know. I ain't got no problem with First Rifleman. So when y'all be like, y'all emotional and stuff, like, that's just not true. Like your First Rifleman said, you can come on here and we talk about our differences. But second, you was talking about like a lot of things you said, like, because it don't make no damn sense, bro. Like, if I had a damn white girl and I'm talking about Black Power stuff, you're not gonna listen to me. So like, why are you sitting here making excuses? And I'm just messing with you, brother. Don't cut me off now. I didn't cut you off, brother. I don't get emotional now, because like y'all.
I just want to throw it in there.
Let me finish.
No, I'm not emotional. I just want to throw it in there that I didn't say that. I said if a dude ain't talking that
just like I said to the dude in the chat. That's what you said, brother. I heard what you said. I heard.
Okay, but basically what I'm trying to say is I understand, like, if you talking that pro-black shit.
Say it on your square.
Okay, yeah, but what I am standing on my square. So basically, a dude that be on that pro-black shit, ain't nobody finna listen to him with no white wife. But anything else, some other shit, if he just talk about some leadership shit, just trying to help you grow your business, then cool. Fuck if he got a white wife, who cares? But I understand with the pro-African
I had a white wife talking about Black issues and how to build your stuff.
That's not what I was saying. That's not what I was saying, bro. But if he talking about building a if he talking about building a business, anybody knowledge gonna help. It don't matter who he fucking.
Bro, I can listen to Jeff Bezos about business, bro. Like, yo, because we was talking about, you named me and the brother in the chat, and you called me emotional. So that's what I'm talking about. You don't got to
No, I didn't
backtrack
call you
now.
emotional, bro.
What'd you say, my brother?
I just made an example about how y'all was like going at each other. Like we don't
I
gotta do
know.
that shit. That's all I was saying.
Yo,
But if I
don't take
did,
what I'm saying personal, bro. Because like,
okay,
yo,
okay.
like
No,
first
you good,
rifleman know,
bro.
like I be saying stuff and trying to make y'all turn up. But I'm just saying. And then another thing you mentioned was the history thing, bro. Like, yo, is ignorant. Like you sitting there talking about some like, oh, you're stuck in like, oh, I don't want to, because I
Hold on,
can't be a white
forecast
person.
before you go on, and
I
I
can't
could
get
be.
it.
Well, hold on. Before you, what I internalize or what I think of is people like to bring up either something traumatic or something super triumphant to fit in their narrative or to make you feel a certain type of way. So, like we want to know about Mansa Musa, we want to know about Great Zimbabwe and all the triumphs of Black people, but sometimes people inappropriately kind of shoehorn it in certain ways that are inappropriate that don't help, if that makes any sense.
No, it don't make no sense. I'm gonna be honest. No, I'm just messing with you, bro. But all right, so look, like, cause he brought up like, yo, he was like, yo, when you talking about we in this country now, like, I disagree. I don't disagree as far as being clean cut and all of this stuff. I disagree, like, well, you gotta have slacks and all of this stuff. You can have like a white tee. That's what we disagree on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you gotta be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't be out there like in like with a shirt with holes in it. I agree with First Rifleman about that point, but the particular when we talking about, but that's a whole nother concept. But I'm just addressing some of the stuff that you said, you know what I'm saying? And like what else you said? And this dude's talking about something. I tried to slur him and stuff like this and bringing up like, and yes, you yourself mentioned that, well, you can't have a certain opinion when you talk about that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't understand how when I say something and you agree, and then you're gonna backtrack everything that I say. So there's no point. You're gonna sit there and be like, well, I didn't say that, you know what I'm saying, when you clearly did, you know what I'm saying? But bro, like, yo, when you talk about forgetting about history, you're gonna end up in the same damn situation that you always been in. And you talk about business with, like, yo, if I talk about the stuff with Chinese people, I don't care about. But when I see brothers like, yo, talk about Miss Pearly, I'm like, bro, like, we know that white bitch is like her. We know that backtrack. We know that history. And First Rifleman knows that. So why the hell is goddamn black men sitting here complaining about that? I mean, I'm gonna bring that up every single time. You know what I'm saying? So like, yo, and there's other things, but First Rifleman said,
Forecast. Nobody want. I don't think Africulture wants people to forget history. It's just that people either obsess or people like to like. I'm just sorry. Like literally, some of our people, like besides trauma bonding, they want to find every example of a white man doing us the dirtiest and the worst to either buoy their point or some, just weirdo stuff.
But you know what?
Africulture, but hold on, Africulture. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, like bro, I'm all about real African history. Like, but the reason why I try not to stay on history because Negroes like to be on that bullshit and they like to get all on these fake ass storytelling shit, and then they get caught up in not doing shit. Bro, this is now. We live in the now. We don't live in. We can't live talking about what our ancestors did, Mansa Musa and Toure, what's your name, Toure and Usman Dan Fodio and all them Negroes like that. Them Negroes dead, bro.
Right, but we could talk about like because I personally talk about like Black American history, you know what I'm saying? I make
Black
like
American,
Black American
that
so
shit's
I
the
get what you're
past though.
saying. Huh?
But the thing about it, what I like about Black American history is that Black Americans right after slavery, we were stronger economically than we are now. That's the only
Right.
history that I need to understand. What's the problem? What is the big difference now when we more free than we were back then, but we not producing shit?
Well, because people like Afroculture be like, whoa, this is the thing. We got to be able to be in all communities.
Nah, no. I'm sorry, Forecast. I think you're kind of taking that the wrong way.
Like, y'all don't want to hear the answer.
Bruh, if African Americans are my only people that buy coffee, bro, I'm not gonna make shit because African Americans are only 12% of the population, bro. Let's be real. I live in a historically black owned town. You know what I'm saying? That's been historically black since after slavery, bro. You know what I'm saying? And blacks not even the majority over here. You know what I'm saying? So let's just be real. Most of my customers are gonna be Mexicans, bro. It's not because I want it to be. It's because that's the population dynamics, bro. We got to deal with reality.
Yeah, that's not what I said though, and that's why I don't want to talk about your business, because I would definitely support your business. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave your business separate, because I salute you for that. You know what I'm saying? So don't get nothing I'm saying twisted. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
Good.
huh?
I said you good, bro. I don't take nothing personal.
Oh yeah, and I appreciate you not taking it personal. I appreciate First Rifleman not taking what I say personal. You know what I'm saying? But when we talking about business, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing, like when we say something, like it's y'all that's keep coming up saying, well, black people can't do this, black people can't do this, like we're not saying don't sell your stuff to other like groups of people. Nobody's saying don't be professional, you know what I'm saying? But you can make your own professional lane when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling you, oh, you're a sellout for selling something to white people or nothing like that. But then when you turn around and be like, you know, like I don't know, you walk back everything you just said. So I don't know what else to say. And then he got off.
Well, okay, we'll end on that now. Body Butter Plug, thank you for joining us, sister. Go ahead and put your link in the chat so people can because I put your stuff on there earlier, but I didn't have the link. Unfortunately, I wasn't prepared. So hey, go ahead and put your link in the chat so people know where to buy your stuff. I need to buy some more because I'm ashy as hell. Plus, I got a few female friends that just love nice, hydrated, beautiful skin. So.
Like you're a player. I got a few female friends. Come on. I'm just clowning. Hey, I'm just clowning with you, Rifleman. Hey,
is that the sister right there? First
Agriculture. Do you have K cups too? Do you do K cups?
Yeah, that's her.
K cups. Yeah, I see you in the chat. Look, man, because I'm about to get this call for the day. Do you do K cups? Because when I make my pot of coffee, I ain't gonna lie, I mess it up. But I'm gonna purchase yours and I'm gonna mess it up if I got to mess it up. But I am gonna get your coffee. And I'm like Forecast. I don't have to agree with y'all to support your business. You black. I'm gonna support your business regardless, because I want to see you grow. And that's
and also too, and I'll leave it with this. My plan, I want to be able to spam your products on my little show, because in about maybe a day, because I've been setting it up, I'm gonna go over the different Glock polymer frames that are on the market that black people can get in, because I keep talking about us building our own weapons and repairing our own weapons. So in the course of doing that and getting my more content, I want to be able to every show say, hey, go to HughGrows.com, go to PanAfricanCoffee.com, get the Alexis Fowler's digital services, get, Africulture Concepts digital service. So I want to be able to do that. And I don't need no money or nothing. I ain't gonna lie, free little lotion or, oatmeal bar or something, but that's all the sponsorship I'm gonna ask for. But in all seriousness, I want to be able to do that. Because at the end of the day, this is a nucleus we can form. I'll just tell you like a far off like idea I have. Like if we can grow together, obviously, because look, Brandon, his channel blowing, he's blowing up right now. And he's able to help these two entrepreneurs with their products. So I want to be able to, if we could get this bigger, I want to sponsor up a black youth rifle team, a pistol team, because that's another thing when folks talking about race war and all this. Look, they got little white girls 8 years old shooting up all types of ARs and pistols and everything like that. We do not see enough black children doing that. Now we see some viral stuff about black children doing that stuff, but thank you, Body Butter Plug. Let me make sure I can get you some business first before you can put out a discount code on there. Well, I want to bring you some business first before we do that. But at the end of the day, like there's entities that are out there for our youth that I want to be able to. So if I can get some shekels off of these channels, I'm gonna sponsor up a local gun team for children out here, because there's a need for it out here, because nobody else is going to do it. So I got to do it. And that's, so that's just one of my ideas. So we can grow this together. There's going to be great outcomes for our youth. And that's where we need to focus. And thank you for all of you guys for actually, since I've been in this space, talking about how important our youth are and and that's more important than my old behind. You know what I'm saying? So I'll leave on that, and everybody else, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and we'll close out.
All right, at First Rifleman, I appreciate you letting me on and letting me speak. And I'm doing, I don't have no problems with you or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? This is all good. I was gonna ask you a question, but I let it go. I was gonna ask you about your boy Brandon and some of the suspect stuff he be doing and some of the Mobutu energy, but I let it go. So
we'll talk about that later.
Nah, peace though. I appreciate it.
All right, go ahead, Brother Bakari, and then Africulture, you can close this out.
All right, look, man, thank you. This is my first time being on here. I saw you the other day at Top Golf. I say, man, I say First Rifleman and found all the black people in Oregon to hang with while he at Top Golf. All the black people in Oregon was with First Rifleman hanging out. But you know what? I say it like this one more again. Even through our disagreements, and Rifleman, you know how most of my people in the chat be saying about you. But even through all that, I have never turned my back on you. You know I won't. You're a brother. Even though we don't agree on a lot of stuff, you have the right to think how you think as long as you're not against black people in the black family unit. And we don't have to get along. You ain't even got to like me for me to support your business. I can introduce you to a couple of black businesses. They can't stand me at all. They say I talk too much, but they still support me. I mean, I still support them, and they respect me. So my goal is for us to get big together as a people. And I'm proud to see that husband and wife doing their thing together. Black husband and wife, Body Butter Plug, Africulture Concepts. That's how it should be done. And peace and one.
That's
love.
crazy. I didn't even know they were married this whole time.
Hey, Bakari, all we gotta do now is get them to be pro-black, and then they'll be on board.
I'm pretty sure they're more pro-black than I am, and for one, they got a track record. So I'm just saying, I'm gonna let them speak for themselves. But thank you. I know. But go ahead, Africulture, closes out.
Can y'all hear me?
You good?
Okay. I hope
Hello?
y'all can hear me because I think this device I'm on.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay.
I don't think he can hear us.
I don't have a K cup yet, but if you shoot me a email, man, I could definitely implement those because I was actually gonna sell cups locally and all that. But teach me teach me about that, and I definitely you could send me an email at webdevplug plug at iCloud.com, and I'm definitely up for critique and education. If you want to give me some tips or whatever, I can definitely add those type of things to the storefront or whatever. I'm also a web developer, so if you a business owner and you need to get your content online, bro, I build websites, applications, bots, all that shit. Like I'm actually a software developer, so all that picture shit, like I can do that too, but I can actually work on your website, get it working and doing shit that other people's websites ain't doing. So yeah, man, mess with me, bro, and I'm definitely open for critique.
Oh no, you're trust me, once I grow something out, you're my first destination. Oh, sorry for cutting you off. Go ahead and finish out. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna hit you up on that end. Trust me.
Oh, fat, I already know, bro. You in the group. But yeah, bro. That's cool, man. Yeah, Brother Bakari, man, holla at me on the email. Or you could probably just shoot me an email to webdevplug at iCloud.com. Anybody. I'm always open,
WebDev.
For ideas like that.
Can you put
it in the back
link
chat
out there, or Body Butter? Can you put that link?
Put it in the chat or whatever, yeah. So I can get it.
But yeah, that's all I had, bro. Appreciate for having me on, man. It's a good show.
No, definitely. I just want to make sure I just bring something tangible to our people. That's why I try not to make just content and just put it out there, because I want it to be something of quality and I want to add value. And that's the thing about I'll keep saying this all day. Every time you watch me, I want to add just a little bit of value. And if I can do that, my mission is complete. But also too, I'm trying to turn into like my expertise. And like I said, I'm after you put your link in there, I'm gonna get off. But the main thing is I'm gonna put the Glock frames out there and start there, and I'm just gonna start cranking out more stuff. And I have a video in the pipe where I've gone shopping at Walmart with $40 and like what you can buy off of that just to do your food preparedness. So yeah, that's about it. Let me put that on there. There we go. Copy. And I'm still learning all this stuff. Bam. All right. And that's it. So thank you for everybody for joining America First Rifleman. We talk about solutions. We talked about things we have disagreement, but at the end of the day, we walk away peacefully. And I think we're stronger as a group. And that's what we aim for. So engage today, win tomorrow. And I'm out.